is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, is for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hey y'all, Merry Christmas Eve. It's good to see you all. I wasn't sure I was going to make it. I have been out all morning trying to finish up my Christmas stuff, and I am not ready, y'all. I want to say hey to y'all real quick. Hey, Sarah and Elizabeth, Toxic, Anna, Abellis, my lovely Rubber Ramada, Bad Girl, Anna, Indie Girl, Toxic Orchid, Miss King of Anything, All Things Serious. Thank y'all for being here. Jen, Rachel, Patty, Rubber Ramada, Miss Kimmy Akers. Good to see you guys again. Jenny Jen. Jen says happy Christmas Eve. Toxic Orchid, Gammy. Good to see you. Patty, Jenny Jen, and Bellis. Somebody said something, I think it might have been Jen, our new friend Jen, about, Christmas. While we're all happy for Christmas Eve, there's also people out there that this time of year is hard for because they might have lost loved ones or, all of the things. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. Because, for some people it's kind of hard. So say a prayer for them if you don't mind. I want to start with something kind of cute and funny, and then we will jump back into Jen Soto's performance, as I like to call it.
Adventure.
Hold on a minute. So this was something kind of cute I saw, and I thought I would share it with us today so that it could brighten your day a little bit, because I thought it was just the most adorable thing I ever saw and kind of funny. So, yeah, we'll start with this and then we'll jump right into Jen.
Decade, Robert Wagner and his nonprofit organization, Keeping North Omaha Safe for Everyone, has collected toys for children during the Christmas season. This year, they decided to add a new twist.
Wagner threw in the Grinch, there he is right here, and teamed up with the Omaha Police Officers Association. First Alert reporter John Chapman was in the middle of this Dr. Seuss-style adventure.
This year, the trek was different.
Look, did y'all see the Grinch get arrested? Isn't that funny? Hey, Rose, thank you for being here.
Police officers were there, loading up beds for children. 25 of them, twins and queens. No, this doesn't rhyme.
Every now and then we get a bed, somebody, I post it on Facebook, it's free if you want it. And so many people ask me for a bed. I'm like, man, if somebody wants a used bed, then there's a real need for it. So,
and I've never thought about that when it comes to donations and giving money to nonprofit organizations, because I try to go out when I can and help and volunteer at food banks and stuff. And you don't really think about people needing a bed, right? I thought that was interesting and a really sweet thing to do, because beds are important as well. And, a lot of people do need them.
I'm like, instead of raising money for toys, we can get beds.
The police want to help. They're real people too. They want the community to know they're always here for you.
We like to support, and I think it just shows a different side of our officers and shows a different side of the police that, this is our community too, and we're here to help.
But the villain of the story, dressed up like Saint Nick, sneaks in. His heart still too small. Makes away with the beds that are stacked in the U-Haul.
Just trying to help people, tough times.
Look at that. He just took off.
Hey guys, go after it.
But the cops won't let the kids down. They will get the beds back. They jump into their cruisers.
You're gonna take it?
Yeah. Abel runs overhead.
Suspect is the Grinch, approximately 6 feet tall, green.
The Grinch never gets out of their sight.
She said the suspect is the Grinch. He's green, 6 feet tall.
The chase is on, and it doesn't take long. Police make the stop.
Police department!
Officers Winters and Lee put the cuffs on the Grinch.
You gotta get in the car, man. Get in the car.
There.
Now sitting in the back seat, he's still a foul one.
You sorry you did this?
No.
Why?
No, I want to take all the gifts from the kids
beds, everything. Oh.
Now the beds make their way to the children in need. The Grinch is behind bars, and the police can now enjoy their special donut feast.
Thanks for getting my truck back.
In Omaha, I'm John Chapman, First Alert 6.
Oh, the Grinch. He tries every year. Well, this is the 12th year for the toy truck. KNOSC partnered with the Omaha Police Officers Association and Mattress by Appointment to give beds to families in need.
I thought that was cute. Somebody shared that in the crazy news section of our Discord, and I just thought that was adorable. And I wanted to share it with y'all to maybe bring a smile to your face today. So with that, we'll jump back into the performance of Jen Soto and pick up where we left off. I do plan on coming live tomorrow, but not for long, like maybe 30 minutes or an hour, because, you know, we're just going to do stuff here at the house with our family. So I will have time to get on, and we're just going to do some Christmas stuff tomorrow, even if we're in the middle of if we still haven't finished the interview with Jen, we're just going to do a little bit of Christmas stuff and talk and hang out and stuff, because, you know, there's people out there that are alone and not going anywhere and not doing anything. And, you know, it's nice to be able to get on and talk to people. And I have the ability to do that for anybody, you know, that might be alone or bored.
That was a blowjob.
Or whatever tomorrow. So, because I know I'll be just sitting around after we get done doing stuff. Elizabeth, yeah, if I think Sarah has the link. I'm not able to access my lives once I go live. I've got to figure that out. But I think Sarah has the Discord link. Basil is good. He's sitting behind me. He's been eating pretzels this morning. He got a chocolate covered pretzel, even though he shouldn't have. But he's just laying down. I just went and got him some cilantro from the garden. So he's good. So I backed this up a little bit so we could pick up where we left off. And they're starting to call her on her BS. So we're going to see her. This is where you can tell she's definitely lying. Okay, thank you, Toxic Orchid. There's also, as the Gabble Drops Discord, I'm going to try to put it in the description box at least while we watch this real quick. Oh, yeah,
but you weren't. You're not.
We showed you a picture. The picture you saw, she was giving a blowjob to a grown-ass man, and you told his dad to get him a lawyer. Missing, right? Now you, but then you just thought she was missing, and we were showing you our investigative lead being raped. A blowjob is rape.
Let me put a trigger warning in real quick. I'm sorry about that. To just hit y'all with that off the bat. I wonder how them detectives are feeling, because I can imagine they're real angry right now, as we all are.
Consensual, whether she wants to do it or not, that is not consensual. And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him or telling his dad to get him a lawyer.
And I think Madeline's whole life, she prioritized everybody else. And I couldn't imagine living in a household like that, like where your own mother doesn't put you first.
Not what the fuck did he do? Not, hey, we need to figure out what happened.
Hey, garden critters.
No, let's protect Stefan.
I was in shock.
No, it's not shock. That is
did you see how calmly she said that? I was in shock. No, you can't use that as an excuse, ma'am. You're full of crap. Hey, Anna. Oh, thank you. You're sweet. You're the sweetest. Hey, Darlene. Garden Critter said, I'm fairly new to your channel. Happy to have found you. Merry Christmas to everyone. I am glad you found us. Smokey Joe, hello and welcome. Oh, you're welcome. They gift a lot around here. I'm glad you got a membership. Toxic said, I can imagine the trauma they go through seeing these images and seeing what people do to one another on a daily basis. Yeah, it's horrible. Hey, Moth's mommy. Thank you for being here.
your natural instinct to protect Stefan. Okay? And if that's naturally how you react, that's fine. But that goes into what I've been telling you this whole conversation is I don't believe a lot of the things you're saying, and I don't believe a lot of the things you say you weren't aware of. And that is because You've now shown me twice that your first reaction, no matter what you were told or shown, missing and we're seizing the cell phone, or we're showing you pictures of her giving him a blowjob, your first reaction is to protect Stefan. So now, ordered by Stefan, you're aware of this. You were shown pictures of this. You were shown pictures of her body in his car with a seatbelt on. Right? We have played it out for you. Now you're in a stage where he's in jail. You know she's passed away, and now you can feel emotion, right? Until that point, when you were shown that she was deceased.
Janet, I'm sorry chat wouldn't let you in. Colleen, you got here right when you were supposed to, honey. I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up, and I'll grab that Discord link as well. Hey, Synth, Feliz Navidad. Thank you for being here.
Your continued first reaction is to protect this guy. You just said, I only saw a picture of him, whatever your verbiage was, I say blowjob, of his penis in her mouth, and your first reaction was, fuck. Oh my, victimized? No. She's being abused? No. It's Stefan needs a lawyer. Who the fuck cares if we think he killed her? He's.
I don't know why I said that.
But that's the.
You do know why you did it. You did it. Like, you followed through with that plan. It was not just a thought in your mind, maybe I should get him a lawyer. Oh, wait, he's raping my child. No, that you followed through with it. You made the phone call, told his dad to get him a lawyer. Like, it wasn't just a thought or in shock, ma'am. And she's still calm, cool as a cucumber. Like, I can't. Right? JR Girl 22, thank you for being here. Said you can't fix dumb. Right. If I saw a picture like that, I would have thrown up too. Right. And then I would have got up off the damn ground and after hitting my knees. And like I've said it many times, they'd have had to tase me, rubber bullets, I don't know, pepper spray, something. I'd have been going after him, especially if I knew he was in the building. Oh, yeah, it's going to take a couple of y'all to stop me. Rachel said, in my opinion, this was the best detective interviews in this case. He's very good at his job. I'm sure inside he's pissed. He is. And I like their attitudes too. I think it was them who got in trouble. I hope it wasn't, because they're really good at their job, in my opinion. Hey, Alex. Thank you for being here. Alex said, I don't know why I did it. Right. The hell you don't. The hell you say. Like my mama used to say, the hell you say. Lying.
That's the problem. You don't know why. So the reaction in your mind is you are continuously protecting this guy. So why do I sit here and believe that you don't? Because right now, you know Stefan killed her. You know Stefan's been raping her. You know without her body, can he be charged with murder?
I don't know.
Exactly. So you don't know what we can do. Do I think we can charge him with murder? It's not up to me. Should he be charged with murder? Yes.
Please.
Does your role in her life lead to happen? I'll be honest. Yes.
She said when he was saying, you don't know if we can charge him with murder or not. Can we charge him with murder? I don't know. And she said, please, real soft and low. Like, you know, she knows what she's supposed to say. She's figured out that they're picking up on her bullshit. And so she's saying what she thinks she should say, not what's coming from her heart, what's from inside. Because she's putting him first, like always. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Hey, Metal Dust, and thank you for being here. I agree. He's an awesome detective. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me drop that. I forgot. Hold on. I'll drop the link. Hey, Ella Blue.
Since she was a child, since her victimization started, it occurred under your roof, and you acted like it didn't exist. And knowing the victimization, knowing how ongoing it is, knowing that you saw a picture of it, not just us telling you, not me and him saying, hey, listen, he's being, I think they had a bad relationship. They showed you a fucking picture of it. And you still protected him. So how am I supposed to not think that the thought process in your mind is until she's found, Stefan can't be charged with murder? Because we both now know that you don't want him to be charged with murder because you want him to have a lawyer.
No, I don't.
The blowjob. He can't be charged with murder.
That was then.
That was then, right after you saw a picture of your daughter with a grown-ass man's penis in her mouth? Like, seriously? That was then? Seems pretty recent to me. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Rubber. Thank you for coming up. Good to see you. Okay, I'm gonna play this. Let me know if you want me to stop it, okay?
Everything that you guys have shown me since then and have showed me that he's
So we had to
alive
show
this
you a
whole time.
picture of her dead in a car for you to finally not take his side? No.
Because she's already seen that too.
Do you not see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but it makes absolutely no sense that you were never his Stephanie.
I don't know.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Where does your mind go? Stefan. There should have been no doubt in your mind when they showed you that picture of what he was doing, that you had any care in the world other than I want that motherfucker to die.
Exactly.
Whether you believe in the death penalty.
Exactly. That's the normal reaction. Elizabeth, that's so sweet of you to say. Thank you. I hope I wasn't being too much of a fool where you saw me.
Her priority. Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, baby.
No, I was gonna say her priorities are way off. Way off. That should be a big sign right then and there.
Yep. But they can't arrest her because her priorities are fucked up, unfortunately. But I mean, again, I just I'm gonna be, I hope that they do arrest her eventually, and I'm gonna be glad when they do.
I do too. I hope she has at least some type of charges, even if it's just a child abuse charge, just something on her record. I feel she deserves.
Absolutely. Yep.
He protected him. So now we're talking about her disappearance and where her body is. Why do I believe that you're still not protecting him? Because you say so? Because you can't explain why you protect him. You can't explain what is inside of you that makes you protect Stefan. And you may never be able to explain it. But eventually we're going to have to figure it out because you haven't convinced me that you're still not protecting Stefan. I got all these people out here searching. I haven't seen my own kid in days because I'm looking. Truthfully believe that I can't go home and see my kid is because you're protecting. I can't. You're people sitting in the woods.
And he's right. He's saying, I can't go home and see my kids because you're protecting this monster and what he did to your kid. Like, get your priorities straight, ma'am. Hey, Norma, thank you for being here. Yeah, Norma said her priorities are just so messed up, and they are. It's ridiculous.
Woods just waiting for me to tell him where to go, but I can't because I think you're in trouble.
I don't care about him. I want him to go to jail. I want the worst thing possible to happen to him in jail. I know what happens to predators in jail. Like, I'm ready for that. Like, please. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not protecting him.
But you knew he was a predator when you got shown the picture. And then you text his dad that he needs a lawyer. You hope that he invoked, was the words I was told.
What?
You hope that he didn't talk to us. He needs a lawyer.
No.
All over a picture. You didn't care. You didn't care then. Oh, whether sex isn't important.
You know, it's funny that he said, I mean, because if he's saying that to her, she said it. So evidently she said she hoped that he immediately said, I need a lawyer. And as soon as they hit him with the pictures, that's exactly what he did. And you mean to tell me you want me to believe this woman knew nothing? Nope, not today. Not today. Hey, Ava Slim.
Important. That wasn't anything close.
I knew what I saw was
He was
terrible.
a predator right then and there. That's the day you found out he was a predator.
Yeah.
Yes. And after you found out he was a predator, did you not say he needed a lawyer? So why today, Friday at almost 3 o'clock, 5 days into the disappearance, 2 days since you probably found out, or 1 day since you found out she was murdered, do I believe you that you're not telling me where he went, or that he didn't disclose to you where she was, or what caused this to happen? Listen, I know you know I've been doing whatever, or listen, this fucking happened. How do I believe that that didn't happen when everything you've shown me is protect Stefan? Now, once you priority in this conversation, in this investigation. You're coming here looking for her. You reported her missing. Trouble for not doing that. But outside of you reporting her missing, and I may be wrong, I haven't been involved in all aspects of it, but you have not shown me one bit that you prioritize her over him. And that sucks. Not because we're working our asses off for your family, not because we have people out there sweating their asses off for your family, but because I feel like all I care about is your care is to make sure Stefan doesn't get held fucking accountable.
Damn, mic drop. All he cares about is Madeline and being held, finding what happened to her, and somebody being held accountable for everything that has been done to this child her whole entire life. And all Jen cares about is Stefan. And that's the truth of the matter. And sometimes the truth hurts. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, I just can't. I have so much I want to say. I want to reach through that screen right now. She's so infuriating. Oh, sorry. I thought I played it. I apologize.
Because we're being assholes, because I'm not being nice.
No.
But up until Thursday,
Yeah.
it was okay that you gave him a blowjob. No big deal. Get a lawyer.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't okay. I was honestly, I saw that and I was in shock. And I don't know why my first reaction was to tell him to get a lawyer, but I saw that and I was in shock and I was just like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
If you're in shock, you don't call for a lawyer. Rose Thorne said, Jen said she knows what happens to predators in jail and says, I'm ready for that. So, like, you know, again, talking about what happens to predators in jail. And you mean to tell me, I mean, again, that just tells me she knew something. That tells me that she knew something. She knew something wrong was going on. She knew he would get in trouble, or, you know, since this has happened, he was going to get in trouble for it. She knew he was going to go to jail. So she got him a lawyer, all of these things. I mean, you can have one solitary thing, like as far as maybe the medication or Madeline acting out or all of these things. You can have one solitary thing, but all these things add up and nobody's that damn oblivious.
The fact that she has just sat on that couch and hasn't come off of it and flew out the door looking for Stefan down the hallway, screaming, "What the F did you do to my child?" You know, is so damning on her part.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. Hey, Chrissy knows it all. Thank you for being here. Chrissy said that she didn't even keep her own daughter's ashes. She gave them to her father. And again, that's telling me of the disdain, jealousy, rage, resentment she had for Maddie, if I had to guess. Teresa said even when she talked about Stefan going to jail, it was still about her. I'm ready. I want. Exactly. Thank you for being here. Synth said arrest Jen Soto. Jen said she wanted him to invoke after she saw forensics at her house. WTF. Right. And you mean to tell me you didn't know anything? You never went upstairs. You didn't know shit. And she said in one of these interviews, they know something. Forensics is at the house. I told Stefan they know something. Forensics at the house. But you didn't know anything. Like, you tell on yourself, ma'am. I'd say I had to potty, then I'd GP in the other room and pretend to go hug him, and then twist snap. Bye, Felicia. No doubt. Something. Hey, Cara Love. Rachel said, I think she ignored it for her selfish needs. The lawyer comment tells us everything. Yup. Merry Christmas. Chrissy. Ella Blue said, me, I. What about poor Maddie? Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. And then Abella said, parents like that shouldn't have kids, frankly.
There are parents out here that just wish that they could have kids and would treat them so much better.
Right. Or have lost children. And then we're having to watch this woman. And, you know, again, I try to look at things from all angles and be accepting, because at the end of the day, she is a victim. Okay. But there's no way you were this oblivious. It's just not humanly possible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think her being a victim, though, is,
thank you.
How do I want to put it? Yeah, she's a self-snitcher. She's a self-snitcher. You're right.
Absolutely. Hey, Yarg Gogolgan, I'm gonna need you to not say things like that. That's a bit much, honey. So I'm just gonna ask you politely not to say things like that. And if you continue to do that, I'm gonna block you. Okay, so you need to stop. Thank you so much.
Now we showed you pictures of it. You can't deny it anymore. The sex was okay. The murder's not. At least that makes sense.
No, that's okay.
I want to know what it is, and not because I think you're a bad parent. Not because I think you're a bad. Dead or alive, she's missing. Her body is out there. Her body needs to be recovered so she can have a proper burial, a proper funeral. She needs to be laid to rest. Your family needs to be able to mourn her, and we need that information. That is life. That is not life of the law. That's not life of the sheriff's office. That is common decency. That is what she deserves. That is what you deserve. That is what your family deserves. But the longer that happens, the longer it takes us to find her, the less likely that's going to be for you guys. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I truly am. But deep down, you haven't shown me that I am.
I don't know what I need to show you.
Prioritize her over Steven. Think of places he would have dumped her body. Think of places he went, things you talked about, things you discussed, whether that's this week, last week. Don't put it in your mind that he's been victimizing you, or don't put in your mind that I'm being a dick. What can I think about to find out where Stefan put her?
Yep. I blocked some of those comments unless he said something again. I did drop the Discord in the description box if you guys want that. Hey, Lisa is me, and I think I saw Hazel Eyes in here somewhere. Yep, there you are. Hey. Hey to anybody else I might have missed. I was Basil wanted to go out. It's redacted.
You know more about where he goes, what he's doing, or what he would do than you want to realize. That's natural, not because I'm telling you, but because that's natural. I have best friends. I know more about them than I think I know about them. I just need to sit down and think about it. So I need you to sit down and think about it. Whether you need a minute, we're not in this room, whether you want to do it with us in this room, we need to leave here with an idea of where we can go look for. That is one thing we can agree on.
I've sent you a list of the stores that he may have stopped at and didn't stop at. The only outdoorsy places I can think of that we've ever gone to that he would know about would be Shingle Creek or Kissimmee Trail. I don't know if he knows where Lake Toho is, but that could be another option.
Because you think it's a wooded area? Because it's a place you guys have talked about together?
Because it's a wooded area with a lake with gators. Like, we haven't discussed anything. This topic I never asked him if he directly. I never thought he could have. I always assumed the best in him.
Notice how she's looking down. She's not making eye contact, but yet when she talks about things like she drove around or, things that are actually true, she makes eye contact with them. But when she says, I don't know where she's at, I never thought he would do something like this. I thought he was a good person. She's looking down. She's lying. She knows where she's at. She knows Stefan did it. She's lying. Like, I mean, that's what I'm seeing right now. She's not making eye contact at all.
But I didn't ask him directly. I didn't even suspect that until you guys showed me that picture upstairs. We're here.
Oh, thank you, Synth. That's such a sweet thing to say. Yeah, we're not going to have trolls in here. There was somebody that said something mean, and I'll usually give them a warning, and then if they continue, I'll block them. So don't worry. It's okay. I'll drop the link again just in case anybody else wants to come up.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of, if I name places, it's going to be wooded areas that I can think of, but he hasn't told me anything. Like, he has not told me, or we haven't discussed.
So him going to 192 that day, all you know is that he went to 192,
He said he wanted to visit House Card Rules. That was one of he named 3 stores, and that's one store I can remember him listing on that list.
House Card Rules?
Yeah, I don't know my phone.
We'll get your phone a little bit. House Card Rules. What kind of store is that?
I don't know if that's like a video game or card game or board top game store.
But that's on 192.
She's back to normal. No high pitch, no lie. And like Alex says, that whiny fake cry voice equals lying. And right now she's not lying. She's telling where the card shops are because they are actually off of 192. She's making eye contact. She's not doing the high pitched whiny cry voice. She knows. I mean, I don't see how we could think any other way. She knows. She knows everything.
Close to one. I think close to 182 somewhere.
And he said he wanted to go to 3 stores.
Yeah. But he did tell me that I just don't remember which one.
Just normal.
Are there woods in that area? Are you familiar with 192?
No, not where these stores are. I have no idea.
Other than you came up with wooded areas that you know of.
Yeah.
You came up with wooded areas that you think he could dump a body in.
Because I've been there with him. Yeah.
I need to know wooded areas where he travels.
Moth's mummy said she was afraid to go to Maddie's funeral in case of backlash. So do you mean to tell me that she didn't go to her funeral? She gave her ashes to her father. Like, I mean, do we know this for a fact? Is that what's going? Because that's horrible. That's absolutely despicable. Like, you didn't, I don't care who's mad at me or who thinks what. My child, if something, God forbid, if something like that happened, I would not give a crap who had what to say. I would be there. I mean, that's the last time you're going to see your child. Oh my God.
Right, you're saying we've been there, so she could be there. So that tells me she's not there. It tells me it's a waste of the search. Because when I put 90 plus people there, that's all day. Right, we got to coordinate that. We got to put them there. So we need fruitful searches.
Yeah.
So I need likely places that you think, and I need places you think based off of conversations with him, not because you can picture in your mind that there's trees there.
Okay. There's no conversation I think where he's named interest in being anywhere near woods or it being along his way.
Said he got a flat tire. Tell me about the flat tire you got.
So he said he got a flat tire. I'm not sure when he got a flat tire, but he said it was.
Lisa is me said she went to a private memorial. Okay, I could understand that. I could understand going to a private memorial. At least she went. And I think I watched the interview where Tyler said that she gave him her ashes. I wonder if it's all of it though. Hopefully she kept a little bit. Like my youngest son's father passed away and I have his ashes in a necklace that I have. So maybe she did something like that. She is dense, Abella's.
He got a flat tire and then came directly home, and he got home around 2:40. So flat tire, he said he was driving down 192 and it just popped and shredded and fell apart. And he pulled over into a plaza and changed the tire for the first time in a very long time and said he hurt himself doing it. The frame of the car, something came down on his finger.
All his lies, I don't care, but I want to know what you question him about. Why was he there? What was he doing? There's no way you're the most trusting woman in the world. You just don't ask clarifying questions. I know no relationship I've ever been in is that trusting. He just tells you he's gone at 3 a.m. getting a fucking Wawa, and you're like, whatever, bet. Same thing with this.
Absolutely. Ain't nobody that trusting, blind, dumb, deaf, or stupid. Sorry.
It's like, I got
love this officer.
Why is he at these places?
Me too.
You not question him. Why were you on 192? Why did you?
Me too.
Get out at 3 a.m. with my car.
I didn't know he
Like
did
this,
that.
because this is 2 times he went to 192. He went to 192 the day she disappeared, right? He's roaming, looking for her south of where she went missing, because supposedly she went missing. And 192 is south of where that is.
And
not very likely that that's the route she went on foot or abducted, and that him driving around is somehow going to locate her.
And he did tell, I did question that. I was like, when I asked him where he's searching, he said 182. I said, why? That's where she would be. And he didn't give me a clear answer, and I don't know why I didn't push it. I just thought he was being stupid and oblivious, because I
need to back that up just a second and hear that again.
Hurt himself.
Since said drugs are bad, but hashtag I took my meds. I wanted to tell y'all the hashtag I took my meds is from Guilty of Crime. I was over there yesterday hanging out, and that was the lady that was on panel. Jay was on panel yesterday from that channel. Hashtag I took my meds is not bad. I wanted y'all to just know that it's good. It means that it's supporting mental health and saying that you took your mental health meds, or blood pressure medicine, all of that. So I wanted to let y'all know that that's what that means. And if you took your meds today, you can feel free to drop that you took your meds today, because we are supportive of mental health around here. Hey, LZB, thank you for being here. Hey, Shaboogies. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you, love.
Doing it. The frame of the car, something came down on his finger.
All his lies, I don't care. But I want to know what you question him about. Why was he there? What was he doing? There's no way you're the most trusting woman in the world. You just don't ask clarifying questions. I know no relationship I've ever been in.
So I took it back because she says something. 192 is nowhere near where Maddie would be. And first of all, if you don't know where Maddie is, you don't know where she would be. Second of all, there's a theory from Guilty of Crime again that she told Stefan where to place Maddie because the 192 is an area that Jen used to live at. Jen was associated with that area, not Stefan. Stefan never lived anywhere around there or in that general vicinity, from what I understand. I could have it wrong. And if you guys from over there need to correct me, please feel free. But the theory is that Jen told Stefan where to put Maddie, and she was hoping that like alligators or something would take care of the issue, is the theory. Okay. But Stefan couldn't get out to where he was trying to place Maddie because he got a flat tire. So I was taking it back because number one, she says, but Maddie would be nowhere near 192. And how do you know that if Maddie's just missing and you don't already know the outcome that everybody's looking for? And number two, are you saying that to get them to not look there, to try to think, because you think by saying that, because she's not the brightest crayon in the box right now. So does she think by saying that she's going to keep them away from that area? Hey, Bear and Marshmallow. Hey, OK Boomer. Merry Christmas, love. And then OK Boomer said, that's actual mental health, right? Not the TikTok one. I don't mess around on TikTok, but yes, actual mental health. If you guys have meds, please make sure you take them every day so you can be mentally present and healthy, because we all need our peace. Hey, LZB, thank you so much for that super sticker. That was super sweet of you. I usually don't play my little clip for super stickers, but we're going to do it today because tomorrow is Christmas and it's Christmas Eve, and my clip is from Polar Express. For now, I'm going to change it after Christmas. Thank you so much for that. You are such a supportive person, and I really appreciate that.
I love it.
I do too. And I was just about to tell you, I'm sorry I keep running my mouth. Did you want to say something? I know Reverend Ramada is starting a channel, and it's going to talk about mental health aspects and true crime.
No, I'm good. I'm still listening. I'll pop up if I.
Okay, cool. So yeah, y'all make sure you check out Ramada. I'll drop her link in the description box, and Zio too. Zio's got all the Sarah Boone stuff and all kinds of stuff. Basil came back in and he's laying down.
And I have to be honest, I'm just here because it's Christmas time, and a lot of us need others, and just being up here is supportive enough for me. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You can talk to me later if you need to in Discord. I'll be in and out while I'm cooking.
Trust him. He just tells you he's gone at 3 a.m. getting a fucking Wawa. You're like,
all right. The wood
Same thing with this. It's like, oh, I got a flat tire, was here. Why is he at these places? Do you not question him? Why were you on 192? Why did you dip out at 3 a.m. with my car?
I didn't know
Like this is 2 times you went to 192. You went to 192 the day she disappeared, right? He's roaming, looking for her south of where she went missing, because supposedly she went missing. And 192 is south of where that is. And not very likely that that's the route she went on foot or abducted, and that him driving around is somehow going to locate her.
And he did tell. I did question that. I was like, when I asked him where he's searching, he said 182. I said, why? That's nowhere where she would be. And he didn't give me a clear answer, and I don't know why I didn't push it. I just thought he was being stupid and oblivious, because I don't see him as the smartest man. Like, I don't. I let him do what he does.
What? First of all, if my child's missing and you're dipping out in the early hours of the morning and you come back at 10 o'clock in the morning from being out and getting a Wawa, I'm going to have questions. If you're driving around looking for my child and you're telling me you're going back to this one specific area over and over and over again, I'm going to have questions. She said that he wasn't the brightest man. And what did she just say? I didn't have an issue with what he was doing. What?
Yeah, there should be an issue.
You trust him? Right, exactly.
He's been there twice. He knew the location. So this is why they find her. This is why they find her. And thank God. Thank God.
Yes. Thank God they did. She is full of it. 3PO, and thank you for being here to cover up evidence, said Bad Girl. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, Cara, for gifting 10 memberships. That is so supportive of you. I really appreciate that. That's super sweet. If you guys were gifted a membership from Cara, please tell her thank you. You are such a sweetheart. I'll play her. Thank you so much, Cara. That was so supportive of you. Thank you. I want to back it up 1 second because she said something just now that stood out to me again. So we're at 157.59. I'll take it back about 30 seconds.
192. Why did you dip out at 3 a.m. with my car?
I didn't know
like this is 2 times you went to 192. You went to 192 the day she disappeared, right? He's roaming, looking for her south of where she went missing, because supposedly she went missing. And 192 is south of where that is. And not very likely that that's the route she went on foot or abducted, and that him driving around is somehow going to locate her.
And he did tell.
Hey, Gina Marie, thank you for being here.
I did question that. I was like, when I asked him where he's searching, he said 182. I said, why? That's nowhere where she would be. And he didn't give me a clear answer, and I don't know why I didn't push it. I just thought he was being stupid and oblivious, because I don't see him as the smartest man. Like, I don't. I let him do what he does.
Right there. I let him do what he does. Like, what do you mean you let him do what he does? What is that in reference to? Even it doesn't even make sense in the context of the situation. He's driving around 192 going to game shot. Is that what you let him do? Like, that doesn't make sense in the context of the situation. What are you letting him do?
Yeah, she needed She needed to elaborate on that just a little bit more. I let him do what he does. Elaborate, please.
Right. Yeah. And maybe she does. We'll see. But that's just a weird thing to say. That stood out to me. Iguana Place. Thank you for being here. Or I might have said that wrong. In Iguana Place, maybe? In Iguana Place? I'm going to call you Place. Thank you for being here. Place said, I believe Steppen was Jen's connect. That's why she keeps him around. I've heard that theory quite a few times, actually. Joseph said, how would she know she's not near 192? Exactly. Like, you're telling him not to search there because she would be nowhere near there. How do you know? She could be anywhere. If she's missing and you have no idea. Kara said, right, how could they not follow up with that question? If I was in that room, I'd ask her to elaborate. And to be fair, she might. We're going to continue listening, but I have questions. Let's see if she elaborates.
But I don't trust a lot of his, is the word judgment? I'm not sure, but I just don't trust that he makes the smartest decisions sometimes. Like, he likes to act like the smartest man in the room.
She didn't. She said something about I don't trust his decisions sometimes, but he likes to act like he's the smartest man in the room, and he's not. She didn't elaborate.
But I don't think he is.
Do what he does. Meaning?
I'm sorry?
You said, I let him do what he does.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
If he wants to just get up and go to the store, I'll ask where you're going.
Look, great minds think alike. Elaborate, ma'am. Thank you for asking her to do that.
Thank you.
But I won't stop him. Just let him go on his way. I'll let him do what he wants to do.
And you don't question nothing.
Why? Right. Would you do that, Robert? Because I would have an issue with that.
Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. I mean, and especially with my child, an underage child at that is just disgusting.
Right. Exactly. I see most of the chat. Everybody in chat's agreeing with us too. You're not yelling. You're so sweet.
I'm yelling. You're not yelling.
Thank you, Trixie, for being here. It's good to see you, love. Hey, Anders. Hey, Trixie, Anders. Oh, no, I hope not.
Darling, with memberships, they're dropped regularly around here. Just so you know.
Yeah, make sure you have your gifts turned on. I know you can click on like where you see 10 gifts at the top where Cara just gifted, and you can turn them on that way. The chat here is really sweet. So they gift a lot. They're really supportive. So you could do it that way and see if you get gifted one. So you don't have to spend, your own money.
We're a small growing channel.
Yes, we're small, but we're growing rapidly. I'm so happy. It's amazing. Glad to see all of you here. Miss King of Anything said, so you just let him do what he does with her child. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Lisa is me said, once Kevin points out she doesn't act right, she tries to turn it up a notch. Yep. And she does that throughout the interview. When they point out something that doesn't look right and is suspicious, she tries to overcompensate.
Monday to know. You know she's deceased. We showed you pictures that she's deceased. We know that she was probably deceased Sunday into Monday. We didn't see her Monday morning.
I still want to believe she's deceased. I know you showed me pictures, but
for the purpose of this conversation, I need you to believe it because I need you to figure it out. I need you to tell me what you think happened to her.
Again, I mean, you saw the pictures of her in the car. She gets that high-pitched, whiny voice, but that's not the appropriate reaction to find out your only child is dead. A child, period. But not only that, your only child. Your only child. What? If y'all don't mind, hit the thumbs up for me, please, because it helps us get out in the algorithm, and that's the only time I will ask you to do that. Hey, Shell, thank you for being here. She's so obviously no empathy, says Shabugi. She's so obviously a sociopath. Yeah. Runs with scissors. Hey, how are you doing?
I
Um,
wasn't paying attention. I thought you were saying Jen runs with scissors.
oh, that's funny. She probably does, to be fair. Lisa is me said, even when one of the roommates told her, "Are you aware Maddie's alone with him?" She told her, "No, I'm not made. No, I'm not mad at you. Thanks. I'm aware. I'm aware and I'm on it." Yep. The roommate said she said thank you. And I think that was it. It was surprising.
I think he killed her that night.
How?
I don't know. Could it be possible that he drugged her? Could he have choked her? I just don't know how you kill someone and don't leave a mess.
Okay. Could he have drugged her? Could he have choked her? And we know her hyoid bone was broken. There was, and I can't be certain about this, okay, but I heard a rumor. I don't know that it's true, but I heard that there was a heavy sedative found in her toxicology report, and that sedative was what they used like for people before surgery or possibly animals before surgery, okay? And I'll take you down this road, but again, this is a speculation. It's not fact. It's just something I've heard on these YouTube screeds, okay? What I heard was that this medication was found in her system that they give people and animals before surgery to basically knock them out, and that the parents might have had it because they breed poodles. So the theory is that maybe when Stefan, at some point, when Stefan was upset that day trying to figure some stuff out, if his parents had that medication at their house for the poodles, that he got some and gave it to her, or there's a possibility that he was prescribed it, but I don't know why you would be prescribed that. And then he was giving that to her, to Madeline, but I don't know that to be fact. Like I said, we don't have the toxicology report. I can't state that that's 100% fact, but that's what I've heard. And it's really, really odd to hear Jen say he possibly drugged her and choked her. Like, and she's going to say because there was no mess. Why would you think that? I mean, even if there wasn't a mess upstairs, number one, you said you haven't been upstairs. So how would you know there's not a mess upstairs? Number two, there's other ways that things could have happened. There's a bathtub up there, possibly drowned. I mean, and why would you think he drugged her? Even if he did choke her, why would you say, this, that, or the third that doesn't leave a mess? There's other options other than choking. Like, why do you go directly to choking? And why are you adding that he drugged her? Unless you already knew what happened or it was normal for him to drug her. That's the questions I have. Bad girl, that is super sweet of you. And thank you so much for that. I can't believe you did that. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Bad girl said, "Merry Christmas to our family, and always know that we are not alone." We are not. If you guys ever need to talk, you guys can join me in Discord, which is in the description box, and you can email me if you want to be a little bit more private, and I will respond to you. Okay, Boomers said, Stephen Stern's parents would have maybe had access to animal tranks. That's what I've heard because they breed the poodles. Yep. Hey, am I passenger?
A mess or don't leave evidence, or I mean, was there a mess? Was there evidence? I haven't gone upstairs. I don't know what you guys. I barely went into the house today, so I don't know what.
But you just stated that he did it that way because there was a mess upstairs, and now you're trying to fix it by saying, was there a mess? She's talking in that high-pitched voice. We just caught her in a lie. So again, that's a telltale sign of what she does when she lies. MI passenger said, "I believe she was taken in her bedroom." That's the explanation of how the crock was in Jen's bedroom. It's possible maybe he did something, freaked out, took her down there and was like, what do we do? I mean, or Madeline's crocs were kept in Jen's room and he did something upstairs and he was trying to get them when he put the leash on the dog and not wake Jen up, assuming she didn't know, which I don't think that, I think she knew. But assuming she didn't, maybe he was trying to get the crocs when he put the leash on the dog to walk the dog, and she woke up and he was only able to get one. Joseph said, "I definitely believe Jen has guilt and involvement, but I don't believe she is as stupid and ignorant as she lets on." Absolutely. She definitely uses it as a facade. It's her performance, like I said in the thumbnails and stuff. This is her performance. We do, Cara. Miss Kenny said, I'm flip-flopping from phone to TV. Oh, you have a puppy in training. That is so sweet. Oh, super sweet. I'm going to grab Rubber's link real quick, and I'm going to drop it in the description box, and Zio's too, so y'all can sub up to them if you would like.
Need to know what you think.
They're great channels, and I'll definitely be over in their chats and videos. So that's where I'll be hanging out, and I'll drop Guilty of Crime too. I hang out over there as well.
I think he killed her.
How? You mentioned drugged her, you mentioned other things. Explain your reasoning behind those assumptions, and we'll move forward day by day.
So he had access to benzos and I think Lunesta.
What are those? I'm not familiar with that.
Benzodiazepines are anxiety medications which relax you and can make you sleepy.
Okay.
And Lunesta, I think, is a sleeping medication, like for insomnia. So I don't know if it's possible he gave her something and she was drugged. In those photos that you showed me where you're saying she's dead, maybe she was drugged. But if she is dead and it was done upstairs, I could just only imagine that he choked her. I don't know how else you would kill someone and not leave a mess.
How do you think he got her out?
I have no idea because roommates come in and out of the house at any given point in the morning and we don't know their schedules. They can come in at any time. You guys showed me a picture, I think, of him or her in the car at 7:30 in the morning. My roommate left the house. She's the one who leaves the earliest. She left at 7:45. So like, what if he had waited a little longer? She would have caught him with carrying a body out of the house. How did he do that without being caught or seen? That's what I don't understand because, like, did you guys check and see if any of my neighbors have Ring cameras? Any? Nothing?
I don't know what data we've gotten from them, but at this point, I need to know what you think happened to her. I don't need you to ask us what we found.
Okay.
What we found has happened. I need you to come up in your world.
She wants to know what they found because she wants to know what to say. She needs them to lead her to what to say next. And that's why she's asking. And of course, they're not going to give it. They're not going to give in to her. They're not going to give her the information they have. She's trying to figure out what they know so she knows what to say next. Hey, Guilty of Crime, I'm just about to drop your link in the description box. I can't access my live for whatever reason. I've got to fix that. I saw a couple new people in here. Diamond Ring Girl, she 3PO. I think I said hey to you, Teresa. It's a Muffins.
Hey, just so you know, It's a Muffins is my adult daughter. She's my very special only child.
Aw, that is super sweet.
But she's old. She's in her 30s, so she's not a child.
Yeah, no children. But yeah, thank you for being here. And that is super sweet. Aw.
She was gifted a membership yesterday, so that's why she wanted to come in and tell everybody thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that you were gifted, and that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so real quick, I've dropped Guilty of Crime, Rubber Ramada, and Xiosandra Firelyte in the description box of this live right now. And I'm also going to drop All Things Serious. That's another place that I go and hang out. I was supposed to go on panel with him last night, but I didn't get time. So yeah, please make sure you check those channels out. And that's the last time I'll say anything unrelated.
Words in your mind. What do you think happened that night into Monday? Because we do not know. I don't know if her murder occurred Sunday or Monday. All we know is that when you went to bed, they went to bed together, and she's no longer here. So I need to know what you think happened to her, how he got her out of the house, where he went, how he got her into the car. What is your thought on what happened?
I think she was killed Sunday night into Monday morning. I'm thinking he carried her out of the house. I don't know how he didn't get caught by any of my roommates or no one heard.
I think it's weird, okay? And I'm gonna get a little graphic, and I'm giving you a trigger warning now, okay? But I'm gonna explain why I think this, okay? Would be Lee v. Me. Thank you for being here. And Would be Lee v. Me said in the evidence photos, the Miralax and vitamin supplements were sus. Miralax and certain natural supplements are used in homeopathic remedies to encourage expulsion and women's health issues. Yeah. So when you take into account that Madeline was on medication for being constipated, also what the counselor said about her having issues at school and drawing and scribbling on papers, the pictures that I've seen that poor child drew, but not a lot of people have seen. You take into account the fact that she's 12 years old and on medication for bipolar, which is not very common. And then going back to the Miralax situation, when they asked Jen about any kinks Stefan had, she said he likes to do anal. Okay, you take all of these things into consideration, add on that Stefan supposedly, when they first started sleeping alone in the bed together, him and Maddie, they were asking to go upstairs and eat snacks and be alone instead of be in a general area where the family unit, Jen, Stefan, and Maddie are. Stefan and Maddie want to go upstairs and be alone. Like all of these things, there's no way you didn't know. One or two of these instances happening, yeah, it could be nothing. But all of those things coupled together, and you mean to tell me you knew nothing? I can't fathom that.
It's beyond disgusting and obvious the reasons for the Miralax and all that. It's disgusting.
It is. It is. The dude in the mask is Grish. Grish is also a great channel. I'm going to drop him in the description box as well. Y'all are listing great channels. Grish is awesome. Please go sub up to him as well. He's got Maddie videos that are like, his thought process is amazing. Like he breaks it down. His videos are freaking amazing. Like the thought process he has. And Guilty of Crime has figured out a lot of things too. Abellis, you are super sweet. That was so nice of you. Thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. I can't believe you did that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Told you it's Christmas around here. It's going to rain today.
That's so sweet. You guys are so awesome. If you guys were gifted a membership, please tell Abellis thank you and Merry Christmas. I'm going to play our clip real quick. Thank you so much, Abellis. That was super sweet of you. You guys are being so sweet today. Thank you so much for that. I can tell it's Christmas Eve. Thank you, guys.
You're saying he drove all around town. I'm not sure where he could have gone.
Pardon,
And him coming home and leaving, and coming home and leaving. What do you think? Knowing that he killed her. If you had to make it.
Did you say you had a question?
Yeah, I had a question. Garden said, I thought Jen had bipolar meds, but Maddie had ADHD meds. The hydroxyzine that they prescribed for Maddie also is something that they use for bipolar meds to help us sleep. And I'm not sure what other meds they had prescribed for Maddie, but I do know that Jen had bipolar meds.
Yes. Jen had bipolar meds. Maddie was on hydroxyzine for bipolar, and possibly other issues. But the big thing about that diagnosis is that you don't usually get diagnosed as being bipolar until you're at least 17, 18. I have bipolar, okay, and I wasn't diagnosed as bipolar until I was 17 or 18. I think I was 18. They diagnosed me as being manic depressant, as being manically depressed at that time, and they did give me they gave me Klonopin for it or whatever. But the fact that she is actually diagnosed as being bipolar, the friend said she was on bipolar meds, but it could be the hydroxyzine. I don't know, because she also said she hadn't taken her meds since February and she was moody when she didn't take her medication. It's a weird, for a child at the age of 11, 12, however young she was, to be diagnosed as bipolar is not very common at all. So that's really weird to me, because I think she was acting out because of the abuse. That's my thought.
I totally agree with that. Even though, like It's a Muffin said, facts, they wouldn't diagnose her bipolar as a teen. It was manic depressive. As a teenager, we had gone through all the mental health, and knowing that me, as her mother, being bipolar, had my own issues, they still would not diagnose her bipolar as a teen. They just listed as manic depressive and let it go at that. And then it was later in life that it was the CPSTD, I think is what it's called, that, from actually, not even going to lie, the stuff that I put her through with my bipolar and borderline growing up, because I was so mentally unstable until I was in my late 30s, early 40s. So it caused problems with her, but they still wouldn't diagnose her either. So
Right. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, because they don't want to, once you're labeled as bipolar, that sticks with you forever. I think you were saying that the other day, and you don't want to put that on a child. You have to make sure and give it time to get them out of the, hormonal stage and all that. You want to be absolutely sure before you diagnose somebody with
right,
stuff.
because once they're diagnosed with it, they're stuck with it for life. It's on the charts forever.
Yep. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Patty Ward, thank you so much for the super sticker. That is super sweet of you and so supportive. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I saw Mayla's mom came in. Thank you for being here. Ava Slim, I had a couple of people say that she didn't go to the funeral, but from what I understand, she went to a private service, and it was, I don't know how to say, like, it was a certain thing that the Spanish community does, and she went to that. And I've heard that she gave Tyler Maddie's ashes. I would hope that she kept some for herself, but I don't know. That's what I've heard. I've also heard she didn't go, but I think it was pretty much determined that she went to a private memorial. And then real quick before we get back to it, Joseph said, I can't speak for the diagnosis, but Jen said she had both meds and she had to supposedly watch her take her meds to make sure she didn't take the ADHD meds at night. She absolutely did. Hey, Pat Sanford, if I haven't said hey to you.
Suspicious as fuck.
It is suspicious as fuck, but if you're writing a book, what do you write? Let's say this is a fiction novel, right? You're now aware that he killed her. So now you can piece together a story of what happened, right? You don't know the story because you're not him, and you tell me he hasn't told you.
You do know the story, though, because you wouldn't have known there was no mess upstairs unless you went upstairs. Guilty of Crime said there was 2 funerals. She did go to the private service and gave Tyler half of Maddie's ashes. Thank you for reiterating that. I really appreciate you. So that's what happened. Because Guilty of Crime knows a lot about this case, so I trust what she says. Yeah, Rachel said she knows about the funeral info. Queen of Hearts, thank you so much for being here.
So it's not real. So you're telling me what you think.
Yeah.
Right? We know he killed her. We know he drove out of there Monday morning. We know he discarded her backpack in the trash dumpster. We know he discarded her laptop and one shoe. Right? So all her property was discarded to look like she's gone. That way he doesn't have evidence with him. They leave. You've been told that they drove around Orange County, Osceola County, wherever it was. We've pieced that together throughout the week. All right. He's told you where, at least in his version of where he was and what he was doing. Right. But then you have all these suspicious times of when he's left and come back and he's gone here and gone there. So what do you think he was doing on all these suspicious times? He's roaming 192. What do you think? Knowing what you know now we can play. You know she's dead. You know that we've given you information. What do you think, knowing what you know, he was doing at 192? He was doing here. He was doing here. He was doing in Northport. What do you think?
So him leaving early in the morning and driving around aimlessly somewhere. I feel like he stashed the body at that time. When he came back and then left again. But see, it's daytime. Like, how could you move a body or move something in daytime and not be seen? But like, I feel like he went back to check to make sure he did a good job or to move the body again. I don't know. But him leaving the house multiple times without his cell phone is sketchy as fuck. It's so suspicious.
Which is an intentional act. It's not accidental, so that can play into what you think happened.
Yeah. Do you think phone being on the dresser?
It was intentional. Her cell records and her cell data from her cell phone show it is not common for her to leave her phone at home.
I had to potty real quick. She just said, I think he got rid of the body in the morning and then he went back to check to see, to move the body. Like, ma'am, how do you know all that? How do you know all that? Referring to her as the body, all of that. How do you know all that? You're not supposed to know that if you weren't involved, if he didn't tell you what he was doing. We're at 2:05. I'm going to take it back to 2:03:01. Listen to her talk about, I think that he got rid of the body in the morning and then he went back and moved the body or did what, listen to this. How do you know that, ma'am? She's already told them that she thinks that he choked her and drugged her because there was no mess upstairs, but then follows that up with, but I don't know if there was a mess upstairs. Like, and that's what happened. Her hyoid bone was broke.
If you're writing a book, what do you write? Let's say this is a fiction novel, right? You're now aware that he killed her. So now you can piece together a story of what happened, right? You don't know the story because you're not him, and you tell me he is.
But you do. Hey, Lisa Lee and Megan, good to see you.
He told you, so it's not real. So you're telling me what you think.
Yeah.
Right? We know he killed her. We know he drove out of there Monday morning. We know he discarded her backpack in the trash dumpster. We know he discarded her laptop and one shoe. Right? So all her property was discarded to look like she's gone. That way he doesn't have evidence with him. They leave. You've been told that they.
Indie girl, her hyoid bone. I might be saying it wrong. I'm country AF, but it's hyoid bone. It's the bone in your neck, and it gets broken if you're strangled or if somebody hangs themselves or they're hung.
They drove around Orange County, Osceola County, wherever it was. We've pieced that together throughout the week. All right. He's told you where, at least in his version of where he was and what he was doing. Right. But then you have all these suspicious times of when he's left and come back and he's gone here and gone there. So what do you think he was doing on all these suspicious times? He's roaming 192. What do you think? Knowing what you know now we can play. You know she's dead. You know that we've given you information. What do you think, knowing what you know, he was doing at 192? He was doing here. He was doing here. He was doing in Northport. What do you think?
So right here, we're going to listen intently. Hey, Colleen, good to see you.
Him leaving early in the morning and driving around aimlessly somewhere. I feel like he stashed the body at that time. When he came back and then left again. But see, it's daytime. Like, how could you move a body or move something in daytime and not be seen? But like, I feel like he went back to check to make sure he did a good job or to move the body again? I don't know.
How does she know that? What? Like, why is she not arrested right now? There's no way you should know that information. And she's talking about, I think that how could you hide a body? You're talking about your daughter, ma'am. This is absolutely insane. She just told them everything that he did, and she's not in jail. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, what? She just told him. She just told him that Steppen took the body out in the morning, left, went back to the scene of the crime to change something, to do something, to make sure that he did a good job. Like, what? To make sure that, like, guilty of crime said, trying to get him to the alligators, try to get her back to the alligators because he popped his tire the first time. Is that what he was trying to do? Was he trying to go back to move the body to the alligators? Trigger warning. Does it have something to do with the cream they found in the book bag? Is that why he went back? Are you freaking kidding me? Why is she not in jail? Yes, I'm gonna drop the link again. Hey, Anja or Ange, she should be in jail. I don't get it. Right, Ange. Alex said, quoting, he went back to see if he did a good job. Right. Are you freaking kidding me?
But him leaving the house multiple times without his cell phone is sketchy as fuck. It's so suspicious.
Which is an intentional act. It's not accidental, so that can play into what you think happened.
Yeah. Do you think phone me?
It's an intentional act. You knew he reset his phone. You knew he was leaving the house without the phone. You saw a picture of him doing what let me be graphic for a minute. Trigger warning. You saw a picture of him with his member in your young child's mouth, and you still get him a lawyer. But you didn't know anything. I'm not. I don't think anybody on earth is that dumb. Not even an adolescent child. Not that an adolescent child is dumb, but I think an adolescent child could put this crap together and get the same feeling and, conclusion.
Why am I big on the screen? And where did the ads go? Oops, something happened here.
I yeeted myself. Yeet. Right
I
out
was
the
like,
door.
I'm seeing my dog big on the screen, and he's laying here on the bed looking at me. Like, wait a minute.
My bad. I said yeet and yeeted myself right out the door. All right.
It was intentional. Her cell records and her cell data from her cell phone show it is not common for her to leave her phone at home. It is common for her to go to school with her. Teenager leaves their phone at home. So they're attached to it.
She's left her phone home multiple times.
Her cell data shows that normally it goes with her. So that's intentional. You know it's intentional because he left his too.
Yeah.
Right?
So now we're finding out that her cell data shows that she always has her phone with her, even though Jen says that it happens from time to time, and so did he. But the officer right here is saying that they pulled the records and they know that she always takes her phone with her, or at least that it's unusual for the phone to be left at home. But Jen and Stefan are still trying to convince us and the police that she does it from time to time because of her ADHD. Again, another lie. Like, he's fed up, I'm fed up, you're fed up, they're fed up, we're all fed up. Joseph says she never raised suspicion at his factory reset. She just said, that sucks. Right. Hey, Rose Thorne, thank you for being here. Christy Knows It All said, busted. Basil is in here. He was going in and out the door. He couldn't figure out what he wanted to do, but now he's laying on the bed looking at me in judgment.
Right? Whether it's an accident last Friday, this Monday was not an accident. So you think that he dumped her when he was driving around? You think that when he left, he went to check her body? Okay.
Why would you go back out to 182 without your cell phone?
I don't disagree. So he goes out to 192. We think he may have checked.
Okay, so the cop, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep pausing it, but the officer just said, you think he went out to go check her body? And then her response is, why would he go to 192 without the cell phone? Anybody know where Maddie was found? She was found on 192. Like Guilty of Crime was telling us, Jay was telling us yesterday, she leads them right to Maddie, and she does. Because he said, you think he went out to go see the body, visit the body, be with the body, do whatever he did to the body. Okay. First of all, referencing your daughter, and you're talking about body, but we'll move on from that. And then she says, why would he go out to 192 without a cell phone? Not why would he go out driving around without a cell phone? Why would he be out in my car without a cell phone? No, you said a specific location of 192. And that's where Maddie was. She just told them where her child's body is.
Checked where he dropped her, dumped her. He comes home, he tells you you're just roaming around aimlessly, right?
Yeah.
So that's twice on 192 in one day, because he went to look at the House of Cards bullshit or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then he went to do the roaming to look for her on this random highway that he never goes to. Okay. We go into the next day and the next day. Think of the suspicious things he's done. Tell me what you think he's doing.
Him grabbing my phone and trying to log into his emails, that seems kind of suspicious. What was he trying to see? What was he trying to do? The thing is when he had my cell phone, now that I think back to it, he had something wrapped around it, so the phone was under a blanket, and he was like this. I tried looking at the screen at one point, and I could see an email. But
And that was the cell phone we took from you today, or you gave us today.
Yeah.
Okay. Your husband or whoever you want to call Stefan, friend, whatever, your child's missing. He's done a factory reset. I hate to be repetitive, and then you see him holding his phone with a blanket wrapped around it. So you are obviously keeping you from trying to block you from seeing what he's doing. And you still have no questions, and get him a lawyer after you see him doing what he was doing to your child. Oh my God. Yeah, me too. Thank you, Rose. Great point, Anna. Anna says she knows Maddie's gone, so she's already distancing herself by saying the body. Right. She never says her name. She never says Madeline. Absolutely. Great point, Anna.
Can you guys tell me if this is true? Because I recall a family member telling me something, like my sister. Was the last thing searched on it Amber Alert?
Her cell phone has Amber Alert searches in it, but I looked through her cell phone last night. I do believe that she may have been clicking on links for Amber Alerts that came through. I don't think she was actually searching them.
Okay.
They could have just been links she clicked on.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if that was him Googling on her phone about Amber Alerts or if that was her.
That we will never know. He is not obviously cooperating.
Can you like?
She's asking about Amber Alerts searched on Maddie's phone, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the police asked her in an interview that happened before this if she's accessing Maddie's Instagram, Discord, all of the things Maddie had was being accessed after she had went missing, and the police have to tell Jen to stop because they ask her if she's accessing Madeline's accounts and doing things, and Jen tells them yes. She got on there to look and see if there was any information or whatever, and the police have to tell her to stop doing that because they think it's Maddie and it's her. And then we find out from the friend Sage that there was a picture, 2 pictures, a matter of fact, of Stefan in the group chat that went missing or were no longer there after Stefan got arrested. What is she doing on Maddie's phone? is my question. Why are you doing all this stuff on Maddie's phone? Or did Jen search? My wonderful Jenny Jen said. I think Jen searched, absolutely, because we know she was on the phone. She admitted it. And why would you be messing around on your child's phone after she's missing? Okay, I could understand if you were looking for things, and that's a possibility. Looking for signs, signals of maybe where she could be. But the police have already downloaded the phone or looked at the phone. So if there's anything that's going to lead to Maddie on the phone, the police already have it. And I think you're aware of that and you're trying to get rid of it. In my opinion.
Could you guys explain what happened yesterday?
Before that, I need you to continue going away.
Yeah. Where are we at?
Suspicious utilization of your phone.
Of the phone. Him disappearing multiple times. Him disappearing to Northport. What the hell is he doing? That is suspicious. I mean, now that I know that that's where he went, that is suspicious as all fuck. Why did he go to a storage unit facility? What was he grabbing? What was he trying to dispose of?
And the storage unit had the computer modems that were on and being used. And you think the only thing she finds suspicious is that he went to Northport and the storage unit thing, where the computer was on and being used. Let me tell you why there's a computer on and being used in the storage unit. The only reason you would be hanging out in a storage unit on the computer is because you're selling, trading, or producing things that you don't want anybody to be able to trace you back to. So that way, if it gets traced or hit, you can get rid of the evidence pretty quickly and it goes back to a storage unit. A storage unit in his father's name, which would have been stupid, but regardless, a storage unit, it's not coming back to your actual house. It's not coming back to actually you. It's in a storage unit. Abella said Jen was jealous of her own little girl. She's cold, distant. I'm sure she knew everything. It's disgusting. I absolutely agree. Why are you not crying? No emotion. Nope, said Bad Girl. Abella said she knows exactly what's in the storage unit. I think so. I think they were making money. Absolutely. They did get good stuff out of that storage unit, Synth. Diamond Girl said the storage unit was in Daddy's name. Shouldn't he be held accountable for that? If he knew anything, it's suspicious. Like you never went to your storage unit and checked to see what was going on there. You never went there and saw that computer and modem and the whole setup going on. You never knew about that. I have questions. Queen said Stephenstern's mom accused Maddie of flirting with Stephen and begging to sleep with Stephen. That woman should be tarred and feathered. She was jealous of Jen Soto, I think. She had an unhealthy relationship with her son. I don't know about that. I haven't heard that she accused Maddie of flirting with Stephen. The begging to sleep with Stephen, I think that when they spent the night there, that I know she had Maddie sleep in the bed with her. I don't know if Maddie asked to sleep with Stephen, but that Maddie thinks it's normal, right? Because she's been sleeping with Stephen in the bed. I don't care what Jen says. It's been more than a handful of times. So if Maddie thinks that's normal, then she's going to think it's normal everywhere. She's not going to know, hey, you can't ask to sleep with me in the bed when we go to my parents' house. His mom, she had an unhealthy relationship with her son, but I think it was more along the lines of babying him, letting him get away with everything, supporting him and all of his habits and all of the things, trying to protect him too much. She tried to protect him too much, in my opinion.
But aren't they supporting him even now in jail?
Yep, they are.
That's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Why? That's why I don't mean to. That's why I think his father's involved. Also, that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, and a lot of people are feeling that way and agreeing with y'all on this. I don't see it that way, but I respect you guys that see it that way, and I can understand why you do. And I could be proven wrong. I give sympathy to them because I want to think maybe they didn't know, but I understand why you guys feel that way, and I definitely respect your opinion.
Right. I don't ever want to blame the parents for anything that their children do, but on the flip side of that, their support for him, even through, what I think they were on Hidden True Crime or something like that, and they did an interview, and it's just seems real strange to me. very weird situation.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to her and see if she minds if I stream that. And we'll go over that interview and see what we think about it. Teresa said, I bet supporting him in jail costs less than on the outside, right? And they did support him in everything. They gave him the car he was driving. He lived there like he's never lived on his own. It was always at that house or with a girlfriend. Patricia Burns, thank you for being here. Patricia Burns said that man was created by his parents. Rachel, that's a good point. Stephen Stern's dad was a cop. He had to have known something, and he admits that. I think his wife coddled Stephen. I think so, too. I definitely agree with that. I think he was really coddled by them. I don't know that they knew anything, but, you know, like I said, I respect y'all's opinions. Since said, I've seen and heard those calls and interviews, but there was a long history of the Sterns covering up for Stephen. There absolutely was. They did cover up from a long time ago. And then real quick, OK Boomer said, I believe this case is going to end up much bigger than just Jen and Stephen. And that's why it's taking so long to get her charged. Guilty of crime made a good point. She is, from what I understand, she is going to be a state witness. So she said with the limited immunity deal, they might be going to use her as a state's witness in the case against Stephen for the CSAM, which is supposed to be in September, but they're going to have a preliminary hearing in February, I do believe. And I think the murder trial will get pushed way out. I know that's the CSAM information, but anyway, they're using Jen in the trial. So maybe they're going to charge her afterwards. The limited immunity deal was provided that she didn't lie, and she did lie in that interview.
Well, you know, just going back, if you look at the series with the Adelsons and the Dan Markel murder, you know, they waited way long time to come after Donna Adelson. So, you know, they just need to get all their ducks in a row, maybe, and see what happens with Jennifer.
Yeah, I don't know that case. That's interesting. I don't know that case. I'll have to look into it. Hey, Flora W.
Maybe I can do a live on it and you can assist me.
Heck yeah. I still got to make a screen recording of how to use StreamYard and get that to you. I'll work on that after the live today. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. No rush.
All right. Oh my God,
That's
Queen.
me suspicious.
Do you put more weight on that than 192?
192, no, because 192 would be something happened in Northport. There'd be no reason he would take.
Do you understand what I was asking with that phrase? Putting weight on it? Like, do you feel like it's more suspicious what he was doing in Northport versus 192?
Nanny Go and anybody else, this interview took place the day after Stephen got arrested, I do believe. So what happened was she went in, and the CSAM interview where they show her the picture of Maddie happened while they were riding to a presser. While she's in there and they hit her with the CSAM, Stephen is in the room where we see him get interrogated at, and he sleeps for about 3 hours. And during that 3-hour time period, they were questioning Jen. And so then they go in and they go talk to him and end up arresting him. And this is later that day, or the next day. I do believe it's the next day. It shows up as it's March 1st. And I'm pretty sure those were the 27th or 28th. I think it was the 28th of February. This is March 1st. This is the day that Maddie's found. I've heard that they find her while they're interviewing Jen, but then somebody brought up that it's right after the presser that they get the interview. So I think it might be after this that they find her.
I don't know which I don't know which one is more suspicious to me. They both. 192 seems to me like the easiest place he could have dumped her or like figured out where to put her, unless she was in my trunk the whole time and he went to Northport.
What how did she know that Maddie was in the trunk?
Did she just say that out loud?
Yes, the hell she did. She
Maybe
sure as hell did.
maybe it's
Yeah.
because of the photos they showed her earlier, and didn't they show her the photos earlier and of her in the car leaning to the side, and then did they tell her or mention something about the trunk then? I don't remember. That's why I'm freaking out.
I don't think so. I know that they showed her the picture of her sleeping. No, but it's as far as I can remember, and I watched these interviews, but I hadn't picked up on that. I mean, there's some things I haven't picked up on. This is like my third time watching it. They show her the picture of Maddie slumped over in the car, and then they tell her that they think she's deceased. But she's not supposed to know anything about the trunk yet.
Nobody,
I mean,
yeah. That's she shouldn't know that. That's information she should not know.
right. And they wouldn't give her that information anyway. I mean, they show her the body to show, hey, this is not normal. Your child looks deceased or whatever, but they wouldn't have told her everything about him putting her in the trunk. And at that point in time, I don't know that they would have had that information. My lovely Jenny Jen, she always has the deets. She said 2 days after Stephen Stearns was arrested, this interview we are currently watching is March 1st of 2024, when Maddie was found a couple hours afterwards. Thank you so much. I hear something new every time too, Queen of Hearts. Yeah, I backed it up. We're going to listen to that again. For sure. So I backed it up. Let's listen.
That to me is suspicious.
Do you put more weight on that than 192?
192.
Let me get my captions real quick so we can read it as well.
Because 192 would be something happened in Northport. There'd be no reason he would take.
Do you understand what I was asking with that phrase? Putting weight on it? Like, do you feel like it's more suspicious what he was doing in Northport versus 192?
I don't know which one's. I don't know which one is more suspicious to me. They both. 192 seems to me like the easiest place he could have dumped her or like figured out where to put her. Unless she was in my trunk the whole time and he went to Northport.
Right there.
The trunk of your car?
Yeah.
She said, unless she was in my trunk the whole time and he went to Northport. And they said, the trunk of your car? And she said, yeah. And the dogs, to be fair, the dogs hit on her car when they did the dog search. Now, we know that she was in the trunk of Stefan's car because they have that on camera at the hotel. But the dogs hit on Jen's car, too. So, was she at one point in the trunk of Jen's car? But back to the story at hand, why are you mentioning him putting her in the trunk of any car? She should not know that. Alligator Alley, right. That's what Guilty of Crime was saying. There's alligators down there, and they were hoping that the alligators would take care of it. Guilty of Crime said Jen knows how she was killed, strangulation. She knows where she was dumped, 192, and she knows about her body being in the trunk. Right, and you mean to tell me that she was not involved? I just, it's not, it's, what is it? Who is it? Ray Charles could see this. This is insane. Freaking Helen Keller could figure this out. And she couldn't hear, she couldn't see, and she couldn't speak.
Didn't you drive your car at some point? Did you guys sit in your car at some point?
I did. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have probably smelled something, but I didn't. So I'm just trying to think. I'm like, did he stash a body in Northport? No, I don't think so. He's probably hiding something or destroying something. So I guess 190.
Like the hard drives to the computers? How did you know he was hiding something or destroying something? And you didn't think this the whole time he was out. You never suspected a thing, but now all of a sudden you do? Stevie Wonder, thank you. Ray Charles. Did I say Ray Charles? I don't know. Maybe both of them are, but Stevie Wonder was who I meant.
92 would probably be the most important right now.
She did, Jen.
So being in your trunk is oddly specific.
The only reason I say that is because from what you guys have told me, he went directly from the hotel to Northport. I don't think he made any stops anywhere in Kissimmee or anything first and then went to Northport.
All we know is what we can piece together through excessive.
I wanted to hear that. He called her on it. He said, you saying she's in the trunk is oddly specific, because it is oddly specific.
Cameras and data. So his movements, his driving patterns, his actions, we can only 100% say what they are if they're on camera.
Okay.
So we can say he went to Northport because the car was in Northport.
Yes, they showed her a photo of her daughter dead in the car, and she was not affected by it. And that was before this happened. They showed her the picture and said, does Maddie look alive to you? And she said, I don't know. She said, yes, or she said, I don't know. And the cop is like, because she doesn't look that way to me. And then she starts making herself cry. And I mean, when you see him slumped over and the mouth gaping, like, yeah, something's freaking wrong. Then Jen asked if Maddie was dead. The detective said, we don't know. Remember, she's missing. Yeah. Yep.
Northport, where he stopped, where he went in between. That cannot be factual from us if we don't have a camera. It can just be an assumption, which is why I want your assumption, because you know him, I don't.
Yeah.
And like, again, with the immunity deal, right? They're getting her to talk and admit to all of these things because they want her to walk into a trap and admit things that she shouldn't know. And she's walking head first into a 20-foot hole, like running into it. Okay. She is so deep in admitting things that she knows that she should not know. And then she still got immunity, which I understand. Okay. Limited immunity, not full immunity. Let me reiterate that. It doesn't cover her fully. And I know they might need her to testify, but like, I would think they had enough evidence. Arrest this woman, in my opinion. Titanium I am. Thank you for being here. Said they have enough on Stefan and don't need Jen. That's where I'm at with it. Absolutely. Hey, Pitbull. Pitbull said she knew all along what was going on. I absolutely agree. This is not the immunity interview. No, this is not the immunity interview. We can watch that after we watch this one. Cara, oh my gosh, thank you. My goodness, thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. Wow, thank you.
Cara making it rain.
She absolutely is. That was super sweet. If you guys were gifted a membership from Cara, please tell her thank you. That was super sweet. I'll play our Christmas clip. I'm going to find a redone version of Crazy Train because that's to be a train theme because it's Speculation Station, but we're going to get a different one after Christmas. Okay, Cara. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you have a good Christmas. And anybody that's coming in and out, I hope you guys have the best Christmas ever. Flora said, enjoy dinner. Teresa said, I've heard they haven't arrested her yet because that would start the clock on the speedy trial, right? They can tell her not to leave the area and deal with her later. That's a good theory too. Guilty of Crime said that it's they need her to testify and she's listed as a witness. I need to try to find those documents. They might be in As the Gavel Drops Discord. As the Gavel Drops Discord has all the documents. Oh, yeah, I do, Cara. Maybe we can do that one.
If I fell asleep at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, at the hotel, what was that, Monday night? Tuesday night?
One of them.
just trying to think, like, could he have had time to stop somewhere, wherever he stashed her, and then took her to Northport? I think he had time.
That's a really cool Queen of Hearts. I've always wanted to do that, like do an eBay store. Moth Mummy said, "Are there any new phone calls with Stephen and his parents?" I have tried to get that. I FOIA'd the phone calls when I got the jail records, and they cited a Florida statute and said they could not give me personal phone calls. I've heard that they're available for purchase, but it's $11,000, and I do not have a tenth of that actually right now. So if they are released, I might have the ability to get them, but right now I can't. I haven't heard of any being out. Yeah. See, Flora said that Plunder and the docket tried to get the transcripts of jail calls, but it's over $11,000. Yeah. And then real quick, that was something I asked. Chrissy Knows It All said, I would think she would be a horrible witness being on all those meds. That's just me. I said the same thing when I heard that.
Has he cleaned your car since it came back from Northport? Was he brought it to a car wash? Has he detailed it, paid somebody to come out?
No.
Because you, through your, we call it a fiction novel, you pieced together what you think happened based on a suspicious activity, and you ended with, you think he put her in your trunk and brought her to Northport.
Yeah.
I know I
told
asked you
her
to
a
make assumptions,
fictional
but now I want to know
novel.
why. Why is that?
Yep, to get her to admit to it. And she was so specific. She walked right into that trap. It's crazy.
You finished this. What is in your mind leading you to believe that is the ending of the story?
Because 192 seems like a really busy strip, and I can't think of anywhere immediately, like, other than going deep into St. Cloud, like passing St. Cloud, like going into Holapa or Harmony, that I could see some stashing the body somewhere around there. But Northport.
She says this so
Stashing the body.
casually.
Yeah. No tears, no emotion, cool as a cucumber, talking about stashing the body of her only daughter.
There's so many wooded areas, and I feel like, I don't know, he would be familiar with both areas. I just don't know him to ever drive down 182 super far down, like into St. Cloud. But I've known him to drive around all around Northport. But see, I don't want to say anything and like lead you guys down to Northport to do a search and nothing's there. I'm just.
We're gonna go everywhere.
You're searching woods right now, or she's not?
Okay. I just want to be like, I know you guys are like looking at me for the details, but I'm like, I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase.
Send me on a wild goose chase. Let me go look.
You know
Tell
him
me
better
where
than
you
us.
think.
Right. Exactly. And they tell her a fictional novel, like she said, like you said. I mean, but they're trying to get her to admit the shit. And again, 192, where she's at, you just told us to look there. You're talking about putting her in the trunk. You're talking about she was choked. You're talking about she was drugged. Like, you know, she knows. She freaking knows. Hey, sweet Melissa. Thank you so much for being here. Sweet Melissa said, I've never heard a mother so disconnected from her child. Right. Since said, sorry, excuse my language, fucking react, woman. She just doesn't care. She's so apathetic. And I find solace in the fact that Maddie is no longer suffering, because she had to deal with this, her mom not even caring, Stefan, all of the things. Like, thank God she's just not suffering anymore.
You
Exactly.
gotta really think.
Exactly, Jen.
This cop looks like he's got a headache.
He does. He's fed up with our bullshit. I would be hysterical too, Synth. Right, Alex?
Where did he take her?
I'm going blank. I have no idea.
I feel like you're becoming blank.
Pat said it's sad but so true. You know, when I read your comment, it's sad but so true. The song, I love Metallica, and Metallica's Sad But True. That's the way I read Sad But True. And in the way the song plays. That's how I read that in my mind. I heard the song Sad But True with the part where it says sad but true.
Emotional right now. I feel like you want to tell us.
No, if I knew what to tell you, I would tell you. If I had the truth, I would tell you. I don't know anything.
Jennifer, where do you think he took her?
She keeps looking down and not making eye contact when she says things like, if I knew where she was, I would tell you. And they are fed up. They know she knows more than she knows because of what she's been saying. That's why they say, Jennifer, tell us where he took her, where you think he took her. It's easier to get somebody to admit something they don't want to admit by using words like, tell us where you think he took her, instead of coming out saying, where did he take her? And you know, the fictional novel. If you were writing a fictional novel, what would you write? And again, they're talking about writing a fictional novel about the murder of your child, and you're just so, just talking like any other day.
If I were him and I had to stash a body, but I would never do this. My mind would say to go to Lake Toho.
Lake Toho? I'm about to see how far that is from 192. Oh, yeah, y'all. Please hit the thumbs up. I won't ask you again. Sorry. Titanium I am. Someone tell me, why didn't they set her up to get the information from Stefan? That's a good question. I think by the time they knew that Stefan had done it, they already had him for the CSAM stuff, and they were just going to go ahead and get him on that. She's going to suggest where the gators are, said Diamond Ring Girl. Yep.
There's a lot of woods there. There's a lot of gators.
See? There's the gators. And she realizes how bad that sounds, talking about feeding your child's body to the gators. And she tries to get the high-pitched, whiny voice. I don't want to think about that, though.
No, I know. I just don't want to think about her getting eaten by gators.
The fake crying is her reaction when they talk about him feeding her to gators, feeding her child to gators. Like, I can't. She's so apathetic. Not a care in the world. And cold, like Pitbull said. Jen says so nonchalantly, the gators, then starts fake crying. Absolutely. Yes. Another good point, Flora W. said, how about the fact not a single person in her family tried to comfort her at the mom's office and when they went to go report her missing at the police station? Absolutely. It does give new meaning. Sorry, go ahead.
They all seem very distant from her when that interview was going on at the whatever office that was in. They all seem very, very distant from her and the whole situation. It was really strange.
Yep. They did. And for a family that seems to be close, they're not close to her. And it might not have been the police station. I thought it was police station, but it very well could have been her mom's office. Pat Sanford said Gibbs knew meaning to crocodile tears, and it absolutely did. She more than likely suggested it to Stefan, and now she let it slip, so she whines in fear. Great point. Absolutely, Diamond. Since said US 192 is a major tourist strip in the area around the Walt Disney World Resort and features numerous timeshare and other resorts. The road includes mile markers to help tourists locate businesses. Wow.
Thank you for that bit of knowledge.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, even Stefan wasn't holding her hand. Right, Moth?
I don't know where she is.
Like I told you, there's going to come to a point where we will. Right? Volusia County Sheriff's Office just found somebody the other day that's been missing for a long time. People get found. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not quick. I'm hoping this situation is today, tomorrow, Sunday, but we will find her. What you need to think about is when you find her, is there an opportunity or a chance that we are going to prove that you did not assist us to your full capability in this investigation? And if that is true, you need to think about the consequences of that. Consequences of hindering a murder investigation or a capital sexual battery investigation can be punishable up to probably the same charges, the same time in jail. I know you know that I don't believe what you're saying, and I know you know that I think you prioritize Stefan, but you prioritize jail. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we come back and prove that you sat in this room and misled us, that you didn't lead us in the right direction, or that you assisted, or you acknowledged, or you knew, you're going to be mourning from jail.
I want to see her reaction after that, because they're absolutely right. Liddy asked where the grandma's office is. I'm not sure. I don't know that they ever gave out the mother's office. Rose Thorne said she probably cries when she thinks of Stefan being traumatized by having to feed her to the gators. And as sad as that sounds, it's probably true. It wouldn't surprise me to learn that. And the reason I say that is because she freaking seen a picture of what he was doing to her child, her only child, and got him a lawyer, tried to get him a lawyer. Me too, Pitbull.
If I knew anything, I swear I would tell you. He hasn't mentioned. We haven't discussed this. I had no suspicion of anything. He did not tell me any more details of where he went that day other than those traps that I had mentioned. I'm giving you my truth.
I'm giving you my truth.
On any of the days that he came home.
Like that statement doesn't even make sense, because you're not.
After these suspicious outings, 192 trips, Northport trips, and everything else, did he change clothes? Did he come home and appear disheveled, sweaty, dirty?
I don't believe he showered. He didn't bring that many changes of clothes with him, so I know he's repeated his outfit over and over. It's possible he could have come home all sweaty and disheveled after the supposed changing the tire thing, but I wasn't home to see that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't see him come home dirty or sweaty or anything like that.
But we know he was in a red shirt that morning, the red Deadpool shirt. Then if we take in guilty of crime pointed this out last night, or I heard it for the first time last night and realized that the worker at the Sunco gas station in that interview, if you go listen to that, that's on my channel as well. From what I understand, she says he's in a white shirt, and then we see him in the interview room in, I think, a blue shirt or a tan shirt. So you know, like, you would have seen him change clothes, and you aren't bringing that up either, because again, you're protecting him. Guilty of crime said, "Hey y'all, I'm gonna cover Corey Macatalo at 6 p.m. Pacific because Corey's grandma wrote her heartfelt Christmas note to the killer Christopher Greger, the treadmill killer. Hope you all can join. I will definitely check you out. 6 there would be what, 10 here. I will check you out if I'm up. I probably will be because I got a lot to do." Teresa said, and thank you for being here, Teresa Riches, said they 100% thought they'd dispose of this poor child to the alligators. Yep, I think so. Yep, he changed a few times. He sure did. I will be in Guilty of Crimes chat tonight, so I'll highlight that again if you guys want to check her out. She is in my description box along with several other great creators. If you guys want to check them out, I'm usually hanging out. Dutchess, for the missing, is also great too, and I'll put her in the description box. I'm over there from time to time as well.
Do you do anything he normally doesn't do within the house around you?
No.
Okay. That was a lie, a blatant lie. Okay. He just asked, did he do anything in the house that he doesn't normally do? I'm going to back it up just a smidge. We're going to hear that again.
Yeah, let's
because
hear
we
that
know
again.
that yeah. And we know he absolutely did. The roommate said that he was washing clothes, which he never ever does. There was power tools and hammers on the table in the living room, and the roommate picked up on it. So I know you damn sure did, ma'am.
See that? But other than that, I didn't see him come home dirty or sweaty or anything like that.
Did he do anything he normally doesn't do within the house around you?
Like resetting his phone?
Yep, resetting his phone, doing laundry, getting power tools out, changing clothes, because it sounds like he didn't do that very often either.
Thinking about taking the dog out? That was not normal.
So many answers, but she just says, thinks about it. No.
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 Wow.
He was acting very normal, sitting on the computer chair, chatting away with me, talking about not resetting his phone, updating his phone.
Wait, misspoke maybe?
Freudian slip?
Exactly. Hello.
She just said he was sitting in the computer chair talking about resetting his phone. I mean, updating his phone. Wow.
Nope. She knows too much.
Absolutely, she does. Yeah, did y'all hear that? Did you hear it? I could take it back if you need me to, but she just said he was sitting there. No, he didn't do anything unusual. He was sitting in the computer chair talking to me about resetting his phone. And then she said, I meant updating his phone.
Yeah, rewind that a little bit. Make sure everybody heard that. I would rewind it.
Okay.
Just a couple of seconds.
Alrighty, hold on. We're at 2015. Take it to 2, because she has those long pauses. So I want to make sure we don't go back where she's paused.
It's possible he could have come home all sweaty and disheveled after the supposed changing the tire thing, but I wasn't home to see that. But other than that, I didn't see him come home dirty or sweaty or anything like that.
Did he do anything he normally doesn't do within the house around you?
No. No.
Right here.
He was acting very normal, sitting on the computer chair, chatting away with me, talking about not resetting his phone, updating his phone.
He was chatting with me, sitting on the computer chair, talking about not resetting his phone, updating his phone. Freudian slip. And Flora W had a good point when she said, wouldn't you naturally go, here, let me see what you did wrong to your phone? Right. Guilty of crime said verbal leakage. Yep. Deception detective calls it verbal leakage. Colleen said she doesn't believe the tire story, or is it something they made up? No, he did have a flat tire. His tire was shredded, but I think, and Guilty of Crime thinks that she told him where to put Maddie, and he was trying to get somewhere closer to the alligators in that general vicinity and got a flat tire trying to take her to where the alligators are, so he had to just leave her in the field where she was found in the row of bamboo trees, curled up in the fetal position. Alex said busted. And Diamond Girl said Alex Jid is the one hovering over Steph and Stearns when they interviewed them, not the other way around. You'd think Jen was the dominant in that relationship. She says jump and he says how high. Yeah, I saw that and I thought that it looked like a mother consoling her child. And I'm wondering if that's what the dynamics in the household were. Stefan and Maddie were the children and she was the mother to them. I think that's how she saw it. That's just me allegedly speculating. She used a lot of qualifiers. Yep. But she said supposed tire thing. Yeah. Another great point to she's the parent in the relationship when she says she sent them to bed. She sent them, not she sent Maddie. She sent them because she was the mother figure and they were like her children.
Did he carry tools in his car to change the tire, typically?
I think he said there was a tire iron in the car and the jack.
Did he bring it inside? Did he leave it in the car after?
I think he left everything was in the car.
Did you ever go look at his car to verify that he changed his tire?
I don't think I did.
Never dawned on you to go double check. Except by the time he would have got back from the tire, you were gone, right?
Yeah.
What you told us?
Yeah.
And then she was reported missing.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah.
It never dawned on you to be like, damn, did he really change his tire? Let me double check.
No. We got home really late that evening and I didn't even think of doing that.
This is part of our problem. You did so many things and you never questioned it.
I didn't suspect him.
How can we believe some of the stuff that you're telling us or believe that you don't know.
Right. It doesn't make sense that he did all these suspicious things and you didn't think anything of it. It was just a normal freaking day, even though your child's missing and all of this suspicious stuff is going on. I have a problem with it too. I'm right there with you, Mr. Detective. Moth's mummy said, why didn't step and bury the body? No time or just lazy? Or was he planning to return at night to collect the body and take it to the Gator Park? I'm going with you on the latter. Because, yeah, he didn't bury the body. Not that I think he would have anyway. He is a lazy POS. But he left her laying out in the field. I think the plan was to go and move her to the alligators. I think he might have even went back to, that could have been one of the reasons he went back among several other unfortunate things that I don't want to think about. And for whatever reason, he just couldn't make it out there to get her to where they were trying to put her. Unfortunately. Or fortunately for us, but unfortunately that she's deceased.
I don't know how to say it. I mean, I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very trustworthy.
She says it as a question. I guess I'm stupid, gullible, and very trustworthy. It's a question. She's questioning, are you going to believe me when I say I'm just stupid, gullible, and very trustworthy? Because she knows they're not.
I didn't think he'd be the type to do anything like this. I didn't doubt.
I didn't doubt. Freudian slip.
But you knew he was vindictive. You described him as not trustworthy with his family. You described instances where you document where he was lying to his family, lying to you, lying to others.
Lying to his family, yes, but lying to me.
You discussed that he wasn't that good of a person.
Hey, Miss Holmes. It's redacted.
You're not describing him in a positive light at all. So this trust, this caring, all this stuff makes no sense because you, regardless of the victimization, describe him as a good person. He's stealing from his parents, right?
But he never stole from me.
You guys have no money, but all he's doing is ordering things, right? He's buying himself things. He's not. You described him as a selfish thief. You even called it a robbery, that he robbed his parents. So you're trusting this dude who you're describing as untrustworthy.
But I thought he was.
What happened to her? Where did you that? I can't fathom that. I can't wrap my head around that.
I think I only asked him if he took her to school when I called him and told him to come to the office. I asked him, like, you dropped her off at school, right? Because she never made it. And he said, yeah. I was like, she never made it. Where did you drop her off?
You guys sat in your car Tuesday night when I was out there. I was out there at least 4 hours. Just you two in that car.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you guys did not have any conversations about it.
I have to drop down, sweetie,
There's
but
no
I wanted
way.
to tell you thank you and Merry Christmas. I'll see you later this evening over at Guilty's.
Okay, love. Thank you for coming up and hanging out with me today. I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Thanks for having me, and Merry Christmas, everybody. And
yeah,
if I
thank
don't
you.
see y'all tomorrow, Merry Christmas.
All right, honey. Merry Christmas. I hope you have the best Christmas ever. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Alex said Jen knew all of Steph's secrets when she said he never stole from me. Right. She knew everything. She knew he never stole from her because she knew everything he was doing. Diamond Girl says she knew this guy for at least 7 years. You get to know a lot about someone you know for that long. I know things from men I didn't live with after a few months. Right. But my relationship that I'm in now, I've been in 7 years. And the one I was in before that was 7 years. And I knew everything about those two men that there was to know. Everything. I knew what they did when they lie. I know what they do when they're stressed out, when they fidget, when they're upset. There's 37,000 images. Okay. And I think 17 of those were just of Maddie. There was a tripod. From what I understand, there was a tripod camera stand in her room. And you didn't know anything. Stop. Anders said, we dropped her off close to school near the church. She hung out by the church for a couple of minutes. Then she was caught on video leaving the church. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. Scripted story. Okay, Boomer said, I have no doubt that she knew just the sheer stupidity of the bullshit story. Right. Hey, Shauna Faircloth, thank you for being here. Used to be called the 7-year itch. Yeah, when you get tired of the person after about 7 years. Yep. Because you know everything there is.
A reasonable person would have been questioning him. You were the last person with her. What the hell happened this morning? You never did that in that car.
Hey, Heather. So he just said you never asked him what the hell happened this morning while you were in that car for 4 hours. And I didn't catch if she said no or if it's another long pause. I'm going to take it back just a little bit. We're at 24:14. We'll go back to 14 seconds. Oh my goodness. I have nails on, so it's like, don't like to work with me.
Did that in that car.
She said, no, I didn't. 4 hours alone in the car with him while the police are at the house and they're getting ready to close it down for forensics. Your child is missing and you never asked him what the hell happened. She said, no, I didn't. I want to know if they ask her what she talked about and if she answers it.
I remember being on my phone. He was on my phone for a little bit. I know I was medicated. And I was just zoning out. I wasn't thinking anything of anything.
You're sitting in the car alone with him. Your child's missing and you weren't thinking of anything. You were zoning out and you blame it on the medication again. Like with them, it's always the medication. Blame it on the medication. My medication. I'm zonked out on my medication. I haven't slept much. I've taken my anxiety meds. All of the things. Like, take your medication, but don't use it as an excuse, ma'am. When she needs to think up another lie, she does the long pause. Yep, she absolutely does. Flora W. Wait till you get to prison, Jen. You're going to get stomped out. No doubt. And then Jenny Jen said, he's the last person to be with her daughter. She sees forensics closing up her house. Never questions the seriousness of him hurting her daughter. Right. There's absolutely no way. Like Indie Girl said, the silence is deafening. Yes, make sure you take your meds, but don't use it as an excuse when something like this is going on, for the love of God. I was medicated. No time to worry about my missing child. WTF. Oh, yeah, not only that, but she takes her medicine and goes to sleep. Both nights her child is missing. She got to take her medicine and go to sleep. I'm not buying it.
I never asked him. Just asking him that one time to me was, if he took her to school, that was enough answer for me. I don't know. I just wanted to think. Not think the worst, I guess. I don't know. But I just didn't think he did anything. Now I know. But then I didn't. I was still believing everything he was telling me.
But then I didn't. The high pitch, the stuttering, the lies.
Juvenile robbery suspects utilize the excuse of, I was high on bars, I took Xanax, I was blacked out. Right? Every juvenile robbery suspect you interview, I was, in your words, medicated, in their words, high, incapacitated, drunk. It's an excuse to avoid admitting what happened. when you say you're medicated, I can't think of an amount of medication that will numb you so bad to numb the fact that that investigation is occurring right in front of your face, but you're missing. So being medicated is just an excuse to avoid answering why you didn't discuss with him what happened. It minimizes your guys' interaction by saying you were not fully coherent with the person I know who can sit in a car and watch a bunch of detectives and crime scene investigators and everybody else search her house, seize her house, and be so numb that somehow is not ringing bells, is not overcoming the power of this little medication. There's no way. The human body will overcome that in a big situation. You didn't take enough medication to numb you of the reality of what was occurring.
Exactly. Somebody came in. Jeannie B. Thank you for being here. Jeannie B says, why is she not arrested? Justice for Maddie. They drugged this child both and bad-mouthed her. Had control of that poor baby. They absolutely did. My three rosebuds, thank you for being here, said Jennifer might have not had support from her family because they probably knew he had something to do with everything. That's why no sympathy from them. Yeah, they said in the when they called the detectives, she conveniently left her cell phone at home. They used the word conveniently because they're not buying it. Since said, who does she think she is? Rick James? I'm Rick James, bitch. Rick James.
I mean,
exactly, Alex.
There's no way. Unless you were fully incapacitated, there's no way you were so numb that everything he described to you, everything I described to you was not in the forefront of your mind. You weren't numb. Just like these robbery kids weren't blacked out. They weren't high enough to not remember the robbery. They just don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
No, it wasn't clicking. It didn't click to me. Like you guys telling me like it wasn't as obvious, like this and that. I still believed the story he had told me that when we were sitting in the car. I still fully believed everything he had told me. I didn't doubt him. I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy. I'm like, they're wasting time. The real suspect is out there. She's being sex trafficked. That was my biggest fear, is that she was being sex trafficked. I didn't think that she would actually be dead.
But she thought enough to get him.
She's saying she thought she was being sex trafficked. And again, no emotion. Like, what? Why is she? I can't with her not showing any emotion. Anders said, Alex, yes, and she can't even cry. Right. Hi, Stars Align. Thank you for being here. Stars Align said, she is so gross. I never imagined there could be a mother like this. Breaks my heart. Mine too. Mine too. I'm glad Maddie is not suffering anymore. She mimicked him. What the heck? Did she say that? I didn't pick up on that. Heather Wells, thank you for being here. An Aussie here. Is it me or do all of Jen Soto's family show little to no emotion? Even Maddie's grandma seems non-pulsed when interviewed by LE. Yes, they do show little emotion. And I know the grandma cared for Maddie more, but I don't think she showed a lot of emotion either. Diamond Girl said 13 years sometimes run away. Why does she only think she was being sex trafficked? Yeah, right. And then Miss Holmes said, why didn't you question him? Right. Bad girl, I agree. I agree.
A lawyer.
I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy.
The hell you did.
At that point, from the jump, we've been trying to find her. That has been and will be our biggest priority.
Him getting arrested for victimizing her was an accident. We only discovered that she was a victim because we took his phone.
And I'm like so happy that happened, because if not, this would have continued to keep happening.
Well, it wouldn't have, because he killed her on Monday.
Bam. Mic drop. I'll back it up so we can hear what she just said. Mic drop. Georgia Sky said she reminds me of Casey Anthony, all the lies and lack of emotion. Yep. No emotion because they were all involved, said OK Boomer. It's so sad. We despise her worse than Casey Anthony. At this point, I mean, yeah, I kind of do. We're at 28, 19. I wanted to hear her response. Go back just about 30 seconds.
That has been and will be our biggest priority.
Him getting arrested for victimizing her was an accident. We only discovered that she was a victim because we took his phone.
And I'm like so happy that happened because if not, this would have continued to keep happening.
Well, it wouldn't have because he killed her on Monday.
I don't know if she had been found. Otherwise.
I couldn't catch what she said. Sounded like she said, I thought she had been found. I don't know why, but I could be wrong about that. I couldn't quite pick it up. Right, Abellis? Liddy said Madeline was very close to Grandpa. We have no insight on him. Yeah, I FOIA'd and asked for an interview with Grandpa, and I didn't get one. I think there's one where he talks, but they're just talking about a GoFundMe and a couple other things. Lisa said, what was Jen talking about when she said the school made an announcement on the loudspeaker? Just asking Maddie to come to the office is what they do to try to find out if there is, if the child is there. Anders said, I've heard Maddie's grandpa cared a lot for her, but he went away living in a van. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, please hit the like. I keep saying I'm not going to ask y'all, but I try not to ask y'all. Thank you, Seth.
There's no, I've asked this before, but there's no like map you guys can show me of like with a highlighted route of where he could have taken to see if I could recognize anything or suspect anything.
I can pull up a map on my phone, the areas you described, and we can go through it.
Sure.
It said House of Cards.
No.
House
Game rules.
House. On Vine Street in Kissimmee.
At Oak Street.
That House Game rules. Feel free to drag the map around as you please.
Hey Sue Joy, thank you for being here. Sue Joy said, happy holidays to all. And I want to say thank you to whoever gifted me a membership. What a wonderful surprise. Thanks again. Yeah. They were gifting memberships earlier. They're so sweet. They gift a lot. Jenny Jen, my lovely, said, I think she said, I know I'm talking about if she was found. I don't know why. Okay. Thank you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. But she never talked about the office that day. She said she talked to the principal and she emailed the teacher. So I would think the principal might have told her they made an announcement over the loudspeaker just asking Madeline to come to the office. So I don't know. That would be my assumption.
That's all of it. Oh my god.
And realistically, Florida has a lot of wetlands, so anything you see that's green may not necessarily be wooded, is maybe a rule, but we're looking more for where you think based off of his route, not necessarily just like the green parts of the map.
Yeah. In the back of House Game rules, I have access to the lake. That is That is the one shop I can remember him specifically naming that he was going to that Monday. He said house game rules. Did he make it there? I don't know. See, if we ever went down 192 together, it would typically be in this direction towards 535 towards Disney. That's why I find it really strange that you guys say St. Cloud, because I've never gone into St. Cloud with him before.
So you told me you have a friend in St. Cloud.
I do.
But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that where they lived in the condo together? I know she lived in a condo in St. Cloud. Where did they live in the apartment together? Because at one point they lived in an apartment. Synth said talking about the grandpa, he retired. He had a van that he converted to an RV. He bought that condo for Jen Soto to have Madeline Soto and lived there. He was there until Madeline was 7, which was 2018. He then went back to Puerto Rico and is not stateside. Thank you. Right, Liddy? Jenny said, thank you, everybody, from the bottom of our hearts for spending your holiday here with the Speculating family. And I wanted to second that. Thank you. And then Abella said, her demeanor drives me nuts. Show some grief, for the love of God. Right?
I don't know if he knows, but explain to him where she lives, who she is. Explain that relationship to him, because I don't think he's aware of it.
No.
Oh, okay. So one of my really good friends lives off of Old Canoe Creek Road, off Nolte.
Okay.
I don't know what neighborhood though. She's one of my really good friends. She's somebody I know that lives in St. Cloud. She's one of like 2 people I know that live in St. Cloud. She's hung out with us, as in me and Stefan before. She's come over to hang out with me and Stefan.
And notice when she's talking to them right now about something that is factual and that she's not trying to lie about, straight on eye contact. The same month that one and the other first temporary roommate left was when Stefan moved in with Jennifer after, quote, hooking up. Thank you, Synth, for all the details.
We hanging out there too, so we would all kind of hang out together. But yeah, she's just a friend.
And you're 100% sure he's never been to her house?
Yes.
Do they have their own friendship? Or is it just that's your friend and the only time he ever talks to her or hangs out with her is with you?
Exactly. Just my friend, and he would talk when she was around.
And you just told me about the second person in St. Cloud. Who is that?
Somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Her name is Courtney Brackman. She lives, can you pull up the map?
Mm-hmm.
But he's never been over to her house either.
Search.
Lisa Lee said, and why didn't the job the dad had for the pig not happen after all? Talking about Stefan. I thought that was the reason they said he moved back in with his parents, because of that job. That was the reason they said he moved back down there, but then they claimed it fell through. And that was always weird to me, because yeah, it was a job for his dad. So his dad told him he could work for him and then told him he couldn't. I've always found that really weird too. And thank you for pointing that out. Miss King of Anything says the apartment was near Stefan's parents' house in Northport. Okay, thank you. I'm not familiar with Florida, so I wonder how far Port Charlotte is away for that. I have a screenshot of the review on Yelp. Do you really? That's interesting. Everything Stefan didn't pan out. Yeah, right. How could Jen bring... Anders said, how could Jen bring home the worst creep ever to her daughter? Right. I have questions.
She lives somewhere in this area over here. Around here. Lake Lizzie to me is familiar. I would go hiking there often. Well,
There's a preserve there.
yeah, a few years ago, we would go hiking all the time with my friend Courtney, the one who lives right by there.
With Stefan?
No, Stefan would never come.
Now, would you tell him you're going to Lake Lizzie Preserve?
I've mentioned it before, yeah, on the phone.
Okay. When we talked about St. Cloud and, he had asked for your top 5 places.
I'm asking y'all, but I'm going to end up looking it up. Does anybody know if State Lizzie Preserve is close to 192? I know some people are from the area that are in here. Y'all let me know. I'm going to see how close that is to 192. That might be where they were intending to go. Teresa said maybe Stephen wouldn't get his butt out of bed to work for his dad, right? Florida said nothing. Either one of them did ever panned out. Jenny B said his dad stopped paying the rent for Stephen. He absolutely did. Bad Girl said, how could Jen miss so many red flags? It's because she didn't care. I mean, that's the only conclusion a logical person can make. Miss King of Anything said his dad tried to get him to work for him, but he was too lazy. It did not just fall through. EKO Holmes was his dad's business. You're absolutely right, Anders. Diamond said, there goes Jen playing detective again. Gammy said, just dropping to say that I appreciate you and all our sweet friends. If you're sweet, you know who you are. Can't say, though. Aw, you're so sweet, Gammy. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for saying that. Merry Christmas, love. Don't criminals usually throwing themselves into the investigation? They do. They do. They always are trying to figure out what the detectives know. And that goes back to what she was just doing, trying to ask them what they know. And they said, screw it, and hit the brakes on that shit real quick. And we're like, we're not telling you what we know. You tell us what you know.
Places. Why did this ever cross your mind?
Lake Lizzie?
Any of these places in St. Cloud that you're familiar with?
Lake Lizzie Reserve. Lake Libby or Lake Lizzie Reserve? I'm going to look it up, I think.
I mentioned them the first time St. Cloud was brought up. I mentioned my 2 friends that live there. And then, I don't know if I ever mentioned Lake Lizzie. Not sure.
Do you know if Lake Lizzie was special?
She did enjoy going out there.
Was she verbal about that? Like, did she make that known to you guys?
She always told me that if we were to go hiking out there, to let her know, because I've gone hiking without her. I want to go. Like, it's been a really long time since I've done a hike down Lake Lizzie with her.
Okay.
That's been at least 2 years. Yeah, those are the only places in St. Cloud that I would know, that I could think of, that he might be aware of, but.
Sin said the 1,076 acre preserve is located on Lake Lizzie, Bay Lake, and Trout Lake in the Upper Kissimmee chain of lakes. Thank you. Okay, Boomer said maybe Maddie was killed because she was developing faster and the people Stephen and Jen were selling pigs to were losing interest and they couldn't chance her not telling. It's a possible speculation.
But
But your gut tells us no.
Lake Lizzie, probably not. Like, does he even remember what the name of Lake Lizzie is? Probably not.
Synth said what I was trying to figure out, which is that 192 turns into 500, which is right where Lake Lizzie is. Thank you for that. I was wondering if it was close to 192 where her body was. So I wonder if it was Lake Lizzie Reserve, if that's where they were trying to go, where the gators are. Right? Because it's a reserve, so there's going to be gators there. Thank you for that, Synth. You're on it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Is it okay if I look up past rules again?
Yes.
I'm going to try to finish out this interview today so that we can do a little bit of Christmas stuff tomorrow, and then maybe we can do the immunity deal or some of the other interviews after this.
Is he into video games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, into tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer 40K, card games like Lorcana, which is a Disney card game. That's what he told me he was going to go do Monday. He was going to go look for Lorcana cards, and that's why he was going to go to House Rules Gaming. He was just going to make a few stops, and I said, why are you doing that? Why are you wasting time when we don't have money? Like, you don't have money to spend. He's like, oh, I'm just browsing. I just want to look. I want to see what they have available. That's all he said. Every time I did question him, he always had an answer.
Yeah, but a not logical answer. And you mean to tell me in 7 years, every time you asked him a question and he fed you some bullshit, you never questioned him, but yet it seems like you were the one in charge in that household to everybody else. Since said by many protected species indigenous to the region, several unique and important species such as gopher and tortoises, sandhill cranes, osprey, limpkins, and woodstarks. I'm assuming that you're talking about gators being at Lake Lizzie, and I'm sure there was. Teresa said Jen knows more about Satan than her own child. Absolutely. Annie, thank you. Annie Ruler, I saw that you were here. Thank you for being here. I'm sure they do have gators. You've been getting them all the way in Texas. I hope they don't come to North Carolina. Yes, I'm going to go live, but not for long. Probably around 1:30, just because I'm going to be home all day tomorrow. And I'll be cooking. I'm not going anywhere. And we'll do our stuff in the morning, because the kids are going to get up and want to open their gifts. So I'm going to come live and we'll just do some Christmas stuff tomorrow. Probably not for very long. Since said Lake Lizzie is open to the public for passive recreational use and serves as a conservation area for native wildlife and vegetation habitat. Yeah, since that I bet they do, but it wouldn't be good to advertise on their camping sites. Yeah, if it's in Florida, I think they do. He had an answer, but not a good one or logical one for that matter. Absolutely.
Do you guys know, like, up until when on 182 you guys found him, see him? Like, how far down?
We just know it's St. Cloud.
I keep thinking, like, house game rules on 192. Okay, it's got some secluded stuff in the background.
or in the back of it. But it's still 182. It's still really busy. It's all really busy till you pass me that.
Teresa said, "It amazes me how she can tell detectives all of his hobbies and habits and can't tell the truth about her conversation with Satan." No doubt. Florida said, "I guess it's like those nutria they imported to control stuff, and they sure like how we now have to be so careful with boats." Oh, yeah, in Arkansas. Yeah, my husband's from there. Don't tell me that. I won't go. I won't go swimming. They're just fed up.
So right now, I'm pretty sure you're still doing your phone. I think. How'd you get here? You're driven here?
I was driven here, but my dad followed behind. I think you guys said my car might be ready.
We'll verify that one.
Synth said the road parallel to 500 is called Alligator Lake Share W. Raleigh. Really? I said Raleigh. Really? I think that that's really, I mean, I think that's where she was intending for him to go. Absolutely.
The investigation is still going.
Yeah.
Right, Stefan also is not in charge of murder. Right, just a sexual
He's not, or
battery.
he is?
He has not been.
Oh.
He's just been charged with sexual battery. I have a couple questions for you that are going to be on record. They're going to be official. I need you to answer truthfully. Because if they determine that you did answer not truthfully, you can be held accountable for it. Make sense? Raise your right hand. Do you swear that everything we talked about today in this interview is true and correct?
Yes.
Did you lie to me or the detective at any time?
No.
Okay. Do you currently know, or have you ever been aware of where the body has been since Monday?
No.
Did you?
They could get her for lying right now because she's lying under oath.
Have any? Were you aware at any time, whether it be the most recent instance or the first instance, victimization sexually by Stefan? Okay. At this time, you do not know where Stefan went on 192? You do not know where he went in Northport?
I do not.
And you have at no time this week in any conversations with Stefan where he disclosed what he did? Okay.
So they've got her lying under oath as of right now, and they know they do. That's why they do that. Little creature with a mouthful of razor teeth. Yeah, alligators. Diamond Girl said, part of me wants to think those two concocted that plan before that weekend, knowing Stefan's parents said he acted off that Saturday. Jen claimed to miss Med Saturday. Did they plan beforehand? That's a good question. I bet they watched Dexter, said Teresa, and yeah, she's lying under oath. She absolutely is. Yep.
The story that we talked about of what at one point we discussed that she could potentially have been in a trunk on the way to Northport.
Yeah.
Is that information you know to be true or an assumption?
An assumption.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us before we go check on the phone in the car? We may not be able to answer.
So they asked her those questions specifically while she had her hand raised and she was under oath, so they could come back later and get her and say, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here. She did say no so quietly. Hey, Tiger Paul and Bambino, thank you for being here. Tiger Paul said, I really think Maddie was with child and they felt they had to get rid of her. Evil people. It's a very possible. I was wondering that myself. Does he have the authority to put her under oath? But if you think about it, the cops do. They, in those interviews and all the interviews, they ask the people to raise their hand and swear that everything they've said is the truth. So I'm assuming maybe in Florida they do. They both couldn't hardly sleep. So, they binge watched a ton of shows. Talking about watching Dexter. Yeah.
Answer everything. But if you have questions, we can see if we can answer those questions. It's not your only opportunity. Your only opportunity phase was you saying you swear.
Yeah.
With you actually the only opportunity, you obviously have numerous detectives' phone numbers, you have numerous agencies' phone numbers, things like that. So realistically, there will be other options for you to ask questions.
I don't think I have questions.
Okay. I don't want you to think I was purposely an asshole to you.
No, I know.
She don't want to ask them any questions. She wants to get up and get out of there because she's freaking the F out. Annie says Maddie called from her birthday. She was not getting the friends she thought she would have. Maddie running away, hormones, and possibly with child too. Asked Stephen Stearns to run away with him. He bought the pew. He had a lot of pews though, but he brought the pew or bought the pew. So why didn't they arrest right there? I don't get it. Good question. He is the lead of the SMEX crimes unit. Yep. Something major happened to up the ante, says Tiger, Paul, and Bambino said something major happened to up the ante. Yep, I think so.
No, you're doing your job.
Like I told you, like the sheriffs have probably reached out. You've been in communication with numerous people here. Those are my opinions and my opinions only. They don't reflect Sheriff Mina, the chief of PD, Kyle, any other detectives who talked to you. All right. I personally don't know. All right. We will be here all weekend. We will be here all night. My only hope is that you truthfully did not lie to us. You truthfully don't know where she was, and that you truthfully did not know what was happening to her.
I bet she doesn't fidget or anything. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. She just sits there like the potato she is. Oh, she's laying over now. Pouty Magoo. We'll skip ahead right to where he comes back in. Because she just stays laying over on the couch like that. I'm going to put it back normal. She is an evil couch potato. No, she doesn't fidget. She almost falls asleep. She is dreaming of meds. For somebody that has such issues going to sleep and needing all this medication, she sure is going to sleep relaxed after talking about all these things going on with her daughter. Everything Stephen's done. She's rubbing herself to comfort herself. I don't know. I would be tearing stuff up too. Shauna, that's a good point. I wanted to go further in detail on that. Shauna said if she was with child, he would have called another charge. Not necessarily. If the child is not viable outside of the womb, I don't think you get another charge. It depends from state to state, but from what I understand, if the child could not live outside the womb, then it's not a charge. And now she's doing the Newton dance, right? Oh, Alex said her knees weak, palms are sweaty, vomit on her sweater already, mom spaghetti. She hasn't used the paper towel, not one single time. Jenny said, I think during this time was the press conference, and that's when the tip came in. Okay. I thought I had put it to where he is about to walk in. Oh, why did you do that?
Here's where we're at right now. Your car is obviously able to be released to you, the Nissan. It requires us to do some paperwork because we did log it into our system. So now that it's in our system, we got to release it properly to you, which is no big deal. It'll take a couple minutes. Because of the high profile. All right, I know you said we can download your phone, and I do appreciate your cooperation with that. But because the same way we did with Stefan and every other phone and digital device we've seized, they're making us write a search warrant on it, which really doesn't affect you too much. The search warrant is a legal thing. It's not a you thing. It's not a trust thing. But with that, it takes a little bit longer. Yeah. All right, so I can release your car to you right now. We can go facilitate that downstairs. I cannot make you a promise that that phone will be downloaded by the time your car's ready. What I can promise you is at the moment it is downloaded, if you have left from here, I will bring it to you. You're staying with your sister still? Does anybody have your sister's phone number that we can make sure we can communicate with you on?
Yeah. My dad is downstairs, I think, waiting for me, so I can give you my dad's number since he'll be
Whatever
with me.
phone numbers we can have, just to make sure that
Yeah.
if we are unable to give you the phone back today, we'll tell my shit out there. That way, if we are unable to give you the phone back, we at least are able to contact you. And we want to make sure you have a phone to contact us if something arises. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
What's Dad's number? What's his name?
My dad's name is
So she's given him Stefan's dad's information.
and if you can't get a hold of him, you can take my sister's number.
So she's just giving out ways for them to get in contact with her. We're almost done with this interview. She got her cycle 2 weeks late. She wasn't with child. She might have thought she was and told Stearns her period was late. Yeah, it's very possible. Juan is downstairs. He was at one point. At one point, he lived downstairs in the house. Florida law states that. Okay, I wasn't sure. I'll look it up real quick. I wasn't sure if Florida law, some law states are different, so I will check real quick. I push play. Yep.
Are you going to be going back to your condo? Or are you going to go to...
I don't think I'm returning to my townhouse ever again. I want to. I want to be staying with my sister.
So what we'll do is we will walk you out this back parking lot. If the car is in the back corner, so I'll walk with you. We'll go through the back, so we don't go through the front lobby. It wasn't press conference today. Obviously, none of us got to see what was said. I assume it's just an update. But we will go through the back to go get the car, and That way we are not walking through the front lobby making you wait out there. I don't know if there's still media present. I assume you're not in the state or mood to go walk past 32 news cameras. So we will go out the back and get the car, and I'll show you how you can leave here, and we can call your dad from the back so you can know where to go or where to meet you. We just tell him, hey, she's gonna be in the back parking lot. You can drive around. You guys can follow each other out, or whatever you choose to do that way. All right.
I see what you were saying. I don't know about Juan being downstairs. I don't know if it was Juan or Stern's dad. I think it was Stern's dad, but I'm not positive on that. All right, that's the end of that interview. I did pull up the Florida statute, so we're going to look at that real quick while I'm waiting for my Gmail to pull it up real quick. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Oh, Lord. This screenshot is little. It's going to be hard for me to see it. All right. Hey, Gothic Breenex. She said Jen's dad was downstairs. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, and Jenny Jen said Jen's dad. Thank you. I appreciate y'all letting me know. Gothic Breenex said this interview was the day of the press conference, hence her family being downstairs, and then they happened to find Maddie. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. She's crying for herself, not her murdered child, said Bad Girl. Mary said, couldn't she be in shock and carrying a lot of guilt? She could be, but not to the extent of she didn't know anything at all whatsoever. So I'm going to read this on my phone real quick because I can't hardly see it on my computer like that. But it's right there so you guys can see it. Let me pull it up on my phone. Okay. So the 2024 Florida statute 78209 states the killing of an unborn child by injury to mother, the unlawful killing of an unborn child by any injury to the mother of such child which would be murder if it resulted in the death of such mother, shall be deemed murder in the same degree as that which would have been committed against the mother. Any person other than the mother who unlawfully kills an unborn child by any injury to the mother. And then A, which would be murder in the first degree, constituting a capital felony if it resulted in the mother's death, commits murder in the first degree, constituting a capital felony, punishable as provided. B, which would be murder in the second degree if it resulted in the mother's death, commits murder in the second degree. C, which would be murder in the third degree if it resulted in the mother's death, commits murder in the third degree. The unlawful killing of an unborn child by any injury to the mother of such child would be manslaughter if it resulted in the death of such mother shall be deemed manslaughter. Any person who kills an unborn child by injury to the mother, which would be manslaughter if it resulted in the mother's death, commits manslaughter, a felony. So I'm assuming that it would be another murder charge in that state. I'm going to definitely do some more research into that because that didn't really tell me a whole lot. I mean, it sounds like it would be murder regardless if you killed the mother of an unborn child. So if that's the case, then he's only got her murder charge so far. So she probably wasn't, if I had to guess, if that's the case. Since said, I was. Thank you, Mama. Jill, I go now. Feliz noche de Navidad. All right. That girl said Jen should have thought about guilt before letting Stephen Stearns be with her daughter, in my opinion. Yep. Thank you, Synth, for being thumbs up 111. Bad girl said Merry Christmas Eve, everyone, and Merry Christmas to y'all. Flora W said, yeah, it's usually the mother, not the baby. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I really had a good time today. I think today was a great stream. I really enjoy Like, it really makes my day to come hang out with y'all. And like I said earlier, I will be back tomorrow. Probably not for long. We're just going to do some little Christmassy videos and things. And then we'll start back Thursday with the immunity interview. I think that's one where we can get a lot more information from, and we can look at some other things. Y'all can let me know if there's another one specific you would like to go over. You can let me know in the comments section down below. And I dropped some links in my description box of this video, some other channels you can check out, and our Discord if you want to come hang out. We have a good time over there. Thank y'all so much for everything. Thank you for being so supportive. I will be at Guilty of Crime. She's got a live scheduled for later today, and I'll see y'all there. Have the best Christmas ever, and Merry Christmas Eve. Bye, y'all.
I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore.
Oh my God, Abellas, thank you so much. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas Eve, y'all.
So many ways that I could change for the better.